First time this season, the Orioles played at Yankee Stadium. Kevin Gausman, much like every other game, a home run. A-Rod got it against him, 1-0. The Orioles answered. Jonathan Scope, home run, tied the ball game up 1 apiece. But the Yankees would get a sac fly and a lead, and in a tight match, it got a little, the Yankees held on. The Orioles looking to rebound in Game 2. It'll be Worley going to the mound. Jimenez out of the rotation. Worley in next. It's the Orioles on Masson, and welcome back to the Bronx, New York. Game 2 of this 4-game set on a magnificent evening after a beautiful day here in New York City. For the Orioles, the struggles continue here at Yankee Stadium. While they've played well overall against the Yankees, it's been a little tougher going against the team when they're playing here in New York. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. The Orioles will do it again tonight. Chris Davis continues to struggle with the flu bug. He is not playing tonight. Matt Wieters hit on the foot by a pitch. That foot is swollen up, will not start tonight. And whether or not he's actually available, that's something Buck Showalter will never answer. The Orioles need those kinds of bats in the lineup. Here's the reason why. Here at Yankee Stadium for the Orioles since 2015, the record is 3-8. They have won only 2 games in a row once, you see, the last 2 games last season. The runs per game well below what they do overall at 3.4. On base percentage, not particularly good. Team ERA a little bit high, especially if you're playing in tight games. Last night was. What an ending to the game last night, though. This is a great play by Starlin Castro at second base. Flaherty had the bat sawed off. It hit the barrel of the bat that was headed out to second base. Bounced off it, went by the runner. Castro, who was not charging, thought it was going to get to him quicker. He had to hustle a throw over to first base to get Flaherty. That was the final out of the ball game as the Yankees won it by a score of 2-1. Jim Palmer, tight ball game, and now what?
Well, I mean, that's the way these games are played. We talked about it now. They have 3 guys at the end of the bullpen, which Joe Girardi said are available again tonight. But so you can sequence your way through the back end of the bullpen. And we talked about it last night. If you don't get a lead, the Orioles, they got a 1-1 ball game, but they couldn't get the lead. And then all of a sudden it's trouble winning here. And if you look at last year, they went out and got Andrew Miller, a 4-year deal. He solidified the back of the bullpen. So you need to get an early lead. You talked about it last night. The Orioles lead the American League when runs after the 7th inning with 148. It's hard to do that here. And the other side is, Nova pitched real well, and I think the Orioles give him a lot of credit. I mean, he got out of trouble, pitched to center field, which is what you want to do here at Yankee Stadium. So at the end of the day, the Orioles just have to kind of go back to what they do. They have to get clutch hit, which had been a problem for them, and then they have to do what they always do, is hit the home run ball.
And they got to find a starting rotation because it is not set. Vance Worley's going to make the start tonight.
Yeah, everybody, asking me in the press room, well, what's going on here? Well, this is what's going on. Jimenez, 4-year deal, $50 million, so you hope you're going to bet on the right horse. That hadn't turned out. Tyler Wilson, terrific kid, pitched well early, then struggled. Mike Wright up and down, a mess, both emotionally, I think, from a standpoint of being able to make quality pitches. So, you go to a guy that has started before. We all know Vance Worley, he did have the groin problem, but you give him the ball, if you're Buck Showalter, he'll do anything you need. So I thought it was interesting. They asked Buck, well, how long you think he's going to pitch? And he goes, well, basically, I expect him to be out there for 5 or 6 innings. And we saw that in Texas. He gave up 5 runs in the 4th inning. It got him into the 6th inning. The Orioles had a 9-run inning, gave him a chance to win. So hopefully he'll be able to do that tonight.
All right, that's what we're going to be looking at. And for the Yankees, Eovaldi will be on the mound having his own struggles this season. Yankee Stadium is the site. We'll be back. Game 2, first pitch coming up. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by the Bob Bell Automotive Group, driven to be the best. Beautiful evening here in New York. Take a look at our BGE home game time temperature at 81 degrees with that humidity way down. A little breeze coming in from right field to start the game. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by the Bob Bell Automotive Group, driven to be the best. Beautiful evening here in New York. Take a look at our BGE home game time temperature at 81 degrees with that humidity way down. A little breeze coming in from right field to start the game. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Beautiful sight, isn't it? GW Bridge over the Hudson River. Let's take a look at the Orioles starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. It'll be Jones, Rickard, and Machado, Trumbo, Scope, and Alvarez, Hardy, Joseph, and Flaherty. Caleb Joseph, ideal game for him to start if you go by the numbers against the Yankees starter, Nathan Eovaldi.
And there are the numbers on Eovaldi. His last three games have been out of the bullpen. He had lost 4 in a row. You know, last year he's 14-3. Actually, I had a streak this year where he won 6 in a row. And then in the month of June, I mean, May's 5-0. June he's 0-4. So they put him in the bullpen. Want him to throw more strikes. You know, got one of the hardest, at least velocity-wise, fastballs at about 97. And again, you could see pretty much, you know, kind of 50-50 ground ball, fly ball. But again, coming off 4 straight losses as a starter. So he didn't get the pardon. He probably got a reprieve, another chance to start for the Yankees. They're trying to win their 3rd game in a row.
It has been a while for Eovaldi in making a start. He hasn't started since July 1. As Jim said, working out of the bullpen, worked last Friday and got 5 outs in that ball game. We'll see what he does here tonight. Let's take a look defensively, Jim.
Yeah, take a look. You know, big outfield here. So you got Gardner, Ellsbury, and Beltran. I talked to him down at the cage. He said, boy, the hamstring's not bothering me. I'm too old to have it hurt. Headley, Gregorius Castro, and Ref Snyder playing first. Brian McCann, 2nd straight night behind the plate.
For the Orioles, the personnel changes that are ongoing on a daily basis with this ball club. Hyun-Soo Kim, of course, was put on the DL. So Julio Bourbon, outfielder, called up, arrived only about an hour and a half ago. He was at AA. O'Day had a simulated game today. It looked good. If he feels good tomorrow, he'll go to Bowie to pitch on Friday, probably back with the Orioles Sunday or Monday. Matt Wieters, swollen foot after a foul ball hit it last night. Not starting tonight. Whether he's actually available, not something Buck Showalter, of course, doesn't talk about. Chris Davis, his availability very much in question, much weakened by the flu, but he is here at the ballpark tonight. He was back at the hotel last night struggling with the flu bug. So that's where the Orioles are right now, and even though they add Bourbon, they still got a short bench. Eovaldi ready to go. Adam Jones stands in. Game 2 of the 4-game set is underway. Adam had a 1 for 4 in the opener last night.
Yeah, so there is the fastball, and it's as really velocity wise as good as anybody in the major leagues. Average fastball a little under 98.
Adam will take the pitch away, so a fastball pitcher against a predominantly fastball hitting team in the Orioles. Eovaldi's only 26 years old. The Yankees hope he's going to come around here and be the starter that they hoped he would be. Against the Orioles, he has a 1-0 record. Pitched against them in Baltimore, non-decisioned on June 3rd. 5 runs, 8 hits, 5 1/3 innings in that game. Inside out down to first, a real squibbler. Refsnyder makes the scoop. Jones is retired.
Well, not only does he have velocity, we saw Ivan Nova last night, a great late movement. Made one mistake all night, and that was the Jonathan Scope hit his 16th home run. So the Orioles hit the fastball about as well as any team in baseball. But last night they didn't get a lot of balls in the middle of the plate, and I'm sure that Eovaldi, that's what he's going to try to do tonight. So again, I mean, look at this. They do hit the fastball, and you know what kind of movement, what's the location. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, said anybody can throw mid-90s nowadays, but can you execute out of the middle of the plate? We'll see if he can do that.
And the pitch will be taken away. So Joey Rickard back in the lineup for the Orioles with Kim out and on the DL. Rickard gets the start in left field in this game. Nolan Reimold started there in the ball game last night. Eovaldi's pitch to him, a fastball that's going to be up high. So Rickard in and out of the lineup, and now depending on how long Kim is out, he and Reimold again will probably be sharing more time as Buck Showalter continues to shuffle the lineup based on what he's got available. 2-0 delivery with Machado on deck, and that's going to be outside. And Rickard, as with Reimold, top 2 on the ball club in pitches seen per at bat. And you can see when he's had a chance to play of late, done well. He'll take that one for a strike. 99 miles an hour. First inning.
He's got that kind of arm, and again, you know, when you come in, this is his 17th start, and you're only throwing 50% fastballs with that arm. It's not what they wanted. So I think the message board said, hey, go to the bullpen. He did pitch well. What, 3 appearances down there, a little over 7 innings, and try to establish not only the fastball but strike one. Get ahead, and then got a good splitter. He's got a slider, curveball. He's got them all.
Out of Alvin, Texas. Eovaldi had an outstanding year last year, 14-3 with a 4.2 ERA. That's up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. So Joey Rickard works the count where he wanted it and drives the single, and the Orioles get the first base runner.
Yeah, the thing about Rickard, he's the only guy on the Orioles that really does any base stealing. So, you know, you're not going to walk him. And at the end of the day, as you mentioned, Gary, when he gets a fastball, he's a really good fastball hitter. Great approach right back up the middle.
What Showalter mentioned today in talking about the addition of Julio Bourbon, he does bring some speed to the Orioles bench. He's someone who has always stolen bases, so now the Orioles add him. There he is, to Rickard's ability to steal. Here's Manny Machado. Manny a 1 for 4 in the opener last night. Machado has had good career numbers against the Yankees, a .279 lifetime hitter. Not so this year so far, hitting only .200 against the Yankees in the 7 games these teams have played. Orioles winning 4 of those 7. Rickard not extending the lead, not going, and the pitch will be outside. 2-0 count, so he's working behind hitters early.
Yeah, and you can see right there, that's your slugging percentage. What, about a week ago, had the highest batting average of any player in the American League against fastballs. So again, we'll see if he gets one here. 2-0, great hitting count. Orioles would like to get on top, something they couldn't do last night.
He will take that one to right field. Beltran is over, runner halfway, puts it away. Manny Machado is retired. 2 down here in the first inning.
You know, Larry Rothschild, he's been around forever. He's managed, you know, whatever. He's the pitching coach with the Yankees, and he said, you know, you can get in and out of trouble with your fastball. And right there, a perfect example. I mean, why do you have to trick somebody when you're throwing 98 or 99? Make a good pitch, which he did. You get one of the better young hitters in baseball to kind of fly out to right field. I think there's a tendency with And the thing about Eovaldi is he's only 26, so he's young as far as his experience as a starter. So what's your best pitch, and try to establish it, and then use your other pitches if the opposition adjusts.
Trumbo goes after the heater. That's what he was looking for, but it was well located at 97 miles an hour. Mark with a 1 for 3 in the ball game last night. Big numbers against Eovaldi with the 5 for 6. Trumbo hitting .320 so far in the month of July and leads the Orioles in long balls in July with 5 and leads everybody in the majors with 28 home runs. Todd Frazier still behind him with 26. And Chris Bryant of the Cubs still leading the National League with 25. So Trumbo's 28, leading the major leagues in homers. 0-1 count. Eovaldi trying to work through with Rickard on, who's extended his lead a half a step. You're not going to take the bat out of Trumbo's hands, though. And again, Heat at 96 that was up 0-2.
Yeah, I think what you try to do as a pitcher, you can look at all the film you want, but when you get out there, you're 60 feet 6 inches away, and you throw 2 really good fastballs, one down and in, one up and away, and then you see where the bat head is. Is Mark Trumbo able to get the bat head to the ball?
0-2 delivery on the way, and off the end of the bat, popped up foul territory down the right side, and that'll be out of play. Eovaldi's 17th start of the year. He's had 44 in 2 seasons with the Yankees. The great year last year, and then this year all of it just falling away. Home runs have been a problem for him. He's given up 19, the 8th most home runs surrendered in the American League by a pitcher. That was not a problem for him last year. He gave up 10 in 154 innings. 0-2 delivery, runner goes. Yikes. Checks where that one hit. It was right about where his top hand was. Rickard coming back to first base.
Yeah, Todd Titchener, and I mean, watch this ball. It almost gets by him, and this is an emergency hack. I mean, right in on the fist. And then the ball gets the mask of Todd Titchener and almost knocks it off. And you can see Brian McCann certainly concerned. He knows what it feels like. Says he's all right.
A nice welcome to the ball game for the home plate umpire, Ryan Knight, Mark Carlson, working on this umpiring crew along with Teddy Randazzo. Titchener behind the plate. If there's a little favorite on ball strikes, probably going to go to the hitters.
Yeah, I think we've already seen that a little bit at the borderline pitches, but just imagine it's twilight. We always talk about how hard it is to see if you're a hitter. Lights don't take effect. What if you're umpire? I mean, the ball that we saw, what, 105, 99 by Gosman last night, Chapman at 105. It's hard to track that pitch, especially when you don't see that well.
1-2. This again is going to go to right. Beltran is there, and he'll put it away. So Eovaldi out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on base. And Swarley, the right-hander for the Orioles, when we come back. on hand here at Yankee Stadium. Take a look at the lineup for the Yankees. Gardner, Ellsbury, and Beltran. McCann, Rodriguez, Gregorius, Castro, Headley, Refsnyder, same as last night. And Gardner, the last 10's been hot.
So Vance Worley, third start of the year. A lot of fastballs, cutters, breaking ball, maybe a little bit of a slider. Also has a slow curveball. But again, when you're pitching long relief, doesn't get to use it very much. You can see occasional changeup. He's pitched well. And as we mentioned, you got to go all the way back to early April. Start against Tampa Bay and then one down in Texas.
Got his win against Texas in that last start, which was the 15th of April. He, like Eovaldi, though, has been working out of the bullpen. Pitch on the way to Gardner, and Gardner will take it for a strike. Gardner, a 3-game hit streak coming in. Continued it with a 1-for-4 he had in the ball game last night. Vance Worley got 5 outs on Sunday in a relief appearance against Tampa Bay. And that pitch will be taken for a strike. Gardner has not seen Worley, and Worley has not seen Yankee Stadium from this view before. Despite starts in the majors, 84th major league start. It's the first time he's had a start here in New York. That's on the inside corner, and that got him.
I tell you what, after Gausman, you think you might going to get a vacation. He could get the bat off his shoulder. Yeah, he got the winning run last night. Take a look at your Mercedes pitch track, and just cuts it. Lets it run a little bit back. He's going to cut it. It's all about movement, but you can see two-seam movement, and there you go. Presented by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Well, that worked out well.
So he gets the strikeout, and now Ellsbury. Ellsbury with an 0-for-4 in the ball game last night. He has faced Worley. He's 1-for-9 against him. Goes after the first pitch down the line in left field. That'll end up in the souvenir section. Ellsbury this year hitting just .250 against the Orioles. I say just because he carries a big .310 lifetime average against O's pitching. For Worley, the left-handers, the .278 mark, .262 for right-handers. Getting that pitch in on the lefties here in the first couple of at-bats. Down and in, 0-2.
I get the feeling that Vance was pretty good at math because he can add and subtract with that fastball. And again, it's about movement. Not afraid of contact. He can pitch up and in. Most, as we mentioned, a lot of lefties like the ball down. He'll try to run the ball in. Right there, a little slider. So he's going to give you different looks, and it's not going to be overpowering. But again, I think if you look at what he's going to try to do is try to make them put the ball in contact and keep the pitch count down. Orioles have a very good defense.
Pitch on the way, and that'll be ripped down the line. It's foul ball. One hop into the seats. For Worley against the Yankees, only one appearance. That was June 4 of this season. 2/3 of an inning. He gave up a run on 3 hits. Working out of the bullpen in that ball game. 1-2 the count on Ellsbury. Jones fairly shallow in center on him. Ellsbury a little chopper. Catcher interference. Throw to first. He's safe at first base. Caleb Joseph just came up and went, oh man. Took the glove right off his hand and was immediately called by Todd Tichenor. So he's on.
A little changeup down and away, and as Ellsbury goes to get it, again he just goes out, and it looked like he hit the glove on the way down. Boy, we saw that last night with Beltran with the after the Gardner base hit, took a ball almost out of the glove of Matt Wieters and hit it to left field.
So that's an error in the catcher interference, and that's a break for the Yankees. So Ellsbury is on. Beltran up, and he will take it for a strike. Big night last night as he ended up going 3-for-4. Real hot bat coming into this series. Last 6 games hitting .407. He's had 11 hits in his last 27 at-bats. And a check swing, and ends up over by the Orioles dugout, and an 0-2 count.
Yeah, that's that cut fastball, and it just didn't see the movement, and that's what happens on a cutter. Those are some of the numbers you were talking about. Yeah, they have still. We came into last night's game. They had gone 21 games not scoring in the first, and ran it up to 22. So that catcher's interference gives them a little bit more of an opportunity.
Ellsbury 16 stolen bases for 23, so he'll be watched. Worley, of course, hasn't pitched that many innings, only 47. Base stealers are 1 for 2 against him. Yankees have not been doing a lot of running of late. They've been in tight ball games and not trying to make outs on the base paths. Ooh, got one he wanted right there and fouled it back. They'll try and get a good rip on that delivery by Worley.
Well, last night, I mean, he just, the luxury, I mean, he's hitting, when you flip him around the other side, hitting 330, and we saw that last night off of Donnie Hart. Hit a line drive single. Top spin to a double off the base of the wall in right center off of Gosman.
Battling here as he gets another one to foul off. Tony Pena, the first base coach. Beltran making him work here with the 0-2 count. Beltran 3 for 12. Lifetime off Vance Worley. Again, a good lead over there by Ellsbury. And Worley, seeing that, will make the throw over. These games have been so tight between these two ball clubs this year in particular that both managers are mindful that every situation matters. These one-run ball games are piling up between these two teams, so both are going to play it close to the vest. That's going to be fouled away.
Yeah,
two teams now have combined for only, they're under 6.5 runs combined in the games they have played this year. That is a pace. You got to go all the way back to 1978 to find a series in which the Yankees and Orioles scored fewer runs per game combined. 0-2 delivery, lifted up in the air to right field over near the corner. Trumbo, short porch, and just foul. You can count the seats on that one. About 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, very much like the Ryan Flaherty ball last night, just fouled off of Nova. Maybe a little bit shorter. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, normally in the American League, you don't give up outs early. I wonder if the strategy will change because of the excellence of both bullpens of these teams.
Yeah.
Try to get the lead. Maybe.
Ooh, that one will get away, but not far enough to move. Flaherty able to get a glove on it.
Yeah, I would think whether you're Buck Showalter, we don't see him do it as much, but if you're Joe Girardi and you're trying to get back in the race, and we take a look right here again, trying to keep him close, and the ball bounces, heel of the glove, knee.
Chris Davis still out with the flu. That's why Ryan's over there, his second start of the year, and that's the 4th toss made on Ellsbury while Beltran's been at the plate here with this 0-2 count.
Yeah, Vance Worley's thrown 14 pitches, 13 for strikes.
Again, Ellsbury making sure he forces the issue. Not going. Ground ball, second base. Jonathan Scope. There's Hardy. There's Flaherty. Got the double play. Only 3 faced. No runs, no hits, an error. Nobody left on base. Jonathan Scope, who started that double play, will be at the plate when we come back. Our aerial coverage is provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Blimp, what a night to be up over the city. Shots like that, beautiful sunset time here over the Hudson. Eovaldi back on the bump here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. We were talking about how tight these games have been. Last night 2-1, Yankees won. So each of the last 5 between these two teams decided by 2 runs or fewer. The Orioles have gone 3-2 in those 5 games. Pitch will be taken for a strike. Jonathan Schoop hit the dinger last night, 1 for 4. Schoop continuing 16 home runs on the season for him. 0-1 delivery, and that will be foul back and a good solid cut. And again, the count will go to 0-2. Jonathan setting numbers for himself in about every category, be it home runs, average, length of streaks that he has had this season. It's the emergence of this outstanding young player at second base for the Orioles. Here's the 0-2 delivery by Eovaldi. That one skips off the plate.
Yeah, that's the split-fingered fastball, and you can tell the kind of arm speed he has. That's at 90. I think the thing about Jonathan, fabulous defensive second baseman. You know, he played with Davey Johnson, Bobby Grich. Davey, I think, won 4 Gold Gloves. Grich 7. I mean, he's superlative out there. Man, how about 32 extra base hits already?
Yeah, with power. That one Eovaldi will handle. One away here in the second inning. Our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, Janet Rose from Baltimore. You've won $500 for being selected, $500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play Home Run Rich's scratch-offs, win up to $50,000. Or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. Alvarez trying to get the bat heated up here at Yankee Stadium. It's been hot everywhere else. 375 in July, couple of home runs. Here at Yankee Stadium, though, in the games he's played here, only 1 for 13. It's only the 4th game he's ever played 10 minutes from his home in Washington Heights, which is part of Manhattan that borders on the Bronx. 0-1 count to Alvarez. Full shift employed against him. He had an 0 for 3 last night, DHing again tonight. Held by McCann, but he won't get the call. 1-1.
Yeah, Pedro, great fastball hitter. Never got one hit last night. No, but just a lot of soft stuff. Got him a chase fastball about a foot outside.
1-1 delivery by Eovaldi will be grounded into the shift and threw it for a base hit. Castro out there in right field. That had some eyes on it, and it got by him. So that'll be a base hit for Alvarez.
Yeah, you go so deep on the shift, and you want to play close enough where you can see it. He's not even in our picture, and then all of a sudden, with topspin, the angle is that you're trying to cut it off, but you can't get to it because of the ball just doesn't slow down when you topspin it.
So the Orioles pick up hit number 2, as was true in the first inning. It comes with 1 away. J.J. Hardy up. J.J. an 0 for 5 lifetime against Eovaldi. J.J. getting his first action against the Yankees with the 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. Oriole shortstop getting himself back into the midseason game shape after being out for so long, and trying to put some numbers up for the Orioles. 326 in July and a 1-0 count. J.J. looking down to Bobby Dickerson at third base. Anything on here would be a run and hit and run sort of thing. He's got room between first and second. Castro playing over to the bag, and it'll be up high to him. See how much room he's got. Castro, second baseman, almost over there behind the bag. Ref Snyder holding the runner. Set up low and away. Pitch was in and swung on and missed. 2-1.
Yeah, the last 2 home runs were balls in that area. Moved off the plate a little bit, talking about J.J. But 96 on the corner is tough to get to sometimes.
Alvarez, not a big lead. A couple of steps at first base. 2-1 delivery. That'll be grounded toward short. Taylor made. Gregorius, left slender. So each team turning a double play early in the ball game. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. No score. Ball brought to you by T-Mobile. They take us to our Major League Notebook on our East Winds page. Red Sox in a string of games now, 43 in the next 44 days. Their only day off's going to be after a red-eye flight back to Boston from L.A. on August 8th. They're playing the Giants at Fenway. Rick Porcello starting tonight, 5-0, 3-7-9 in the last 10. Former Orioles Steve Pearce back with Tampa Bay, activated from the DL after the game last night. He was putting up big numbers before he was placed on the DL. They will be playing at Colorado later tonight. Brian McCann leading it off. McCann an 0 for 2 in the ball game last night. Did have a sac fly that proved to be the game-winning RBI. Shift on against him with Jonathan Scope way out there in right field. McCann, A-Rod, and Gregorius will be due up against Vance Worley. 1-1 delivery to him, and McCann fooled on the off-speed delivery way out in front of it.
Well, there you go. I mean, Ortiz number 1, Chris Davis not playing because of the flu-like symptoms, and then McCann. And that's what the numbers tell him. On the ground, they hit the ball to the right side.
Up in the air to right, Trumbo going back. He's got room and will make the catch. So McCann on the fly ball out. Mark getting his work in the outfield here in this series, keeping Alvarez in the DH role. Helps Worley out, 1 away. Worley is retired 84% of first batters faced. Now granted, it's only 2 starts and only 20 total games he's been in, but pretty very high number. Here's A-Rod, had the home run in the ball game last night. Rodriguez now down to third. That'll be played by Manny Machado. Flaherty. And a couple of quick outs here in the second inning. A Birdland fan favorite returning to the ballpark Friday. The first 20,000 fans, 21 and over. 7:05 game against the Indians. Get the Orioles floppy hat presented by Miller Lite. Add to your Birdland wardrobe. Get your tickets. Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Didi Gregorius, Yankee shortstop. Couple of hits, 6 at bats. Lifetime against Worley. Had an 0 for last night, went 0 for 3. Pitches there for a strike. Gregorius, one of the hot bats in the lineup for the Yankees, whose offense has struggled all season long. Gregorius, though, 327 in the month of July, and he's had 3 home runs. Worley 0-2. Fouled off the fist. One thing Buck Showalter really likes about Worley, and there are a number of things he likes, Worley works quick. After the ball game last night, Buck, I was talking with him. He said, "Can you believe how much time it took with Nova and Gausman between pitches, both of them?" Said that's just too slow. It's not effective. 0-2 delivery, and that one's going to miss, maybe in and low. 1-2.
Well, he's a strike thrower, and I think a lot of it has to do with being aggressive early on, not being afraid of letting them put the ball in play. There is Ivan Nova, won his 7th game last night.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that one will bite down and in. Gregorius would not go after it, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. The way this game is starting is all the appearances of being yet another one of these tight ball games between these two teams. But we'll see. You got two starters who haven't pitched very much as starters this year, and that's going to be away. So the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's Kevin Gausman, another night without run support, and as a result, another loss, 1-7. 7th pitch of this at bat on the full count. And do another.
Well, I think to a man, I mean, every scout I talked to, all the Orioles saying we'd take that kind of performance from our starting pitchers and take our chances over the rest of the year, or any portion of a baseball season. He was that good last night.
Good. Full count delivery for the 2nd time. We'll make it 3. So Gregorius battling here with 2 down, nobody on, with the 3-ball, 2-strike count. With Matt Wieters out tonight with that swollen foot, highly unlikely he could catch. So the Orioles have both of their catchers in the game. Caleb Joseph's the backup, and Ryan Flaherty's the emergency at first base. Lifted, foul again. This is the injury to Matt Wieters last night when he got hit.
Yeah, it just kind of over rotates. It wasn't a breaking ball. Usually, if you're a right-handed pitcher, you'll pull one in. This is just a heater. Outside part of that right ankle, and of course he said treatment all day long.
Did the MRI. Fortunately, no structural damage.
Wow.
Worley thought he had him. Doesn't get the call.
Well, I think you're right about Todd Tichenor, and I'm not saying that he should have called that, but you know, a lot of times the borderline pitches, if you favor the pitchers, you maybe get an extra inch or not. You got to understand the plate's 17 inches. All the edge of the ball has to do to be on it. So it's a cutter. It's out over the plate. Tried to just nibble and hit that outside corner and misses.
Good eye on a 4th 3-2 pitch. So now speed on at first base. Here's Castro, Starlin Castro, 1 for 3 last night, and he will take the pitch down low for a ball. Yankees still looking for their first hit, get their 2nd base runner. Castro has seen Worley more than anyone else in the lineup. He is 2 for 15 lifetime against the Orioles starter. Joseph moving out to make sure that doesn't get by him. Count goes 2-0. 16 walks, 35 strikeouts on the season for Worley. And a 2-to-1 ratio. Real good ERA of 2.87. The Orioles have won both of the games he started. He got a win in one of them. And he falls behind on Castro, 3-0.
And I would not be surprised. Double down the right field line last night, that double off of Price, start a rally, that he gets the green light here.
3-0 delivery to him, taken for a strike. Kind of surprised. Well, not really. Worley's been both a starter and a reliever, but the numbers for him working out of the stretch, much higher batting average, 308, than when the bases are empty at 240. 3-1. Gregorius not going anywhere. That ball is way back in left field, and goodbye home run into the 2nd deck. Starlin Castro drives in 2. That's number 11 for him. RBIs 33 and 34.
Well, we talked about the Yankees getting younger. I mean, he's only 26 years old. Kind of expendable with the Cubs' young players. Madison Russell coming over from Oakland. It's all about counts. So right there, one of the few balls in the middle of the plate, 3-1. He's looking for it, and he does not miss it.
Castro's first home run against the Orioles, and his 11th of the season, gives the Yankees a 2-0 lead. That is their first hit of the ball game. Chase Headley, he'll take it down low. 5th home run surrendered by Worley. 2 by the right-handers.
And what did Gregorius had about a 9-pitch at bat. They're going to set up the walk to get Castro to the plate.
2-0 delivery, and that's going to be up high. So after getting ahead in the first 5 batters faced, the next 3, he's fallen behind. 3-0 in this one.
Well, he threw what, 21 of the first 24 for strikes, and then all of a sudden there's another one.
Wow. So 2 walks in the inning, last 3 batters on, all of this coming with 2 down, and that'll bring Dave Wallace to the mound. Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers on Vance Worley.
Yeah, so again, I mean, as you progress, you can see, first, second time through the lineups, but again, much better, as a reliever. Last year he was up and down. They sent him AAA with the Pirates. He pitched very well. They brought him back up, right to the bullpen. Pitched very well for him.
So Dave Wallace getting back in the groove. Refsnyder coming up against him with a runner at first base and 2 away. Refsnyder 1 for 3 in the ball game last night. Mark Teixeira still out. Could be back for the ball game tomorrow night. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Dave Wallace coming out changes the first pitch at least as he gets ahead of Refsnyder. Refsnyder up and down a couple of times for the Yankees this season. Fouls that one off. It's his 34th game. Extra base hits. He's picked up 8 doubles with a .269 batting average. He's drawn some walks, 10 walks. Picked up with a big club this year, 17 strikeouts. Headley on at first base. The 0-2 delivery on the way, and that will miss inside. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Good pitch though.
Yeah, he just looks like a good high ball hitter. We saw Refsnyder come up last year with the Yankees a couple of times, and also he gives them a little bit more of a speedy dimension as he can run a little bit.
1-2 delivery to him. That's going to be down low. Refsnyder again had good numbers at AAA. He played 35 games with Scranton. Hit .294, was hitting .294 there, and had a couple of home runs and 10 RBIs. Yankees move him around. First, second, third, right field. Played this season. 2-2 delivery lifted in the air to left field. That one near the line, and it is going to be a foul ball. That one sounded like it came off the Sunday Times.
Yeah. Well, it's about movement. So again, when you get into those hitters counts, we saw with Castro, you got to be more in the middle of the plate. Paid for it.
You can bet Buck Showalter already over there with 44 pitches being thrown, going through what they went through last night and earlier today. And the what if we have to go to the pen early. 2-2 delivery on the way. That one fouled off the other way.
Well, you made I thought a very cogent remark in the sense that this is a little different Yankee team. I mean, last year they had 212 home runs. Teixeira hit over 30. A-Rod hit over 30. So it looks to me they're more of a contact team. And we saw that with Gregorius. They make you work a little bit more.
They're doing that in this inning.
And I'm sure Alan Cockrell, who came over, as an assistant last year, the hitting instructor, Marcus Timms, saying, hey, I'm not going to throw it by you. So use the whole field. We saw that. That's how they beat Price on Sunday night. That and the fact they got really good pitching. Ended up winning that game 3-1. So this isn't the Bronx Bombers anymore.
2-2 delivery to him. Another roller, not hit hard. Hardy's got to hustle it over and does. And Refsnyder is retired. Yankees though pick up a couple of runs. Gregorius the walk, Castro the home run. They lead it 2-0. Orioles baseball on MASN is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by your Baltimore BMW centers. Visit BaltimoreBMW.com today for exceptional offers. Barry Thorne and Jim Palmer, second game, 4-game set here in New York. The Orioles come in a game and a half ahead of the Red Sox. Yankees 7.5 games out. Pitch is taken for a strike. Caleb Joseph leads it off here in the 3rd inning. Caleb's 4 for 5 with a home run lifetime off of Valdi. Flaherty and Jones followed for the O's. Right-hander's pitch is going to miss outside. 1-1.
Yeah, even his cutter is 94. That's kind of velocity he has. And he's 6-11 with Miami. They got him 2.7 runs. He gets traded to the Yankees. He goes 14-3. They get him over 7.
That ball hit hard to short off the end of the bat, and Gregorius is there to put it away. 1 down. Well, bidding closes tomorrow night for the special 66 commemorative uniforms the Orioles wore on the 50th anniversary celebration night. Each player, coach, the jersey and cap, plus replica jerseys for members of the team have been autographed and authenticated. The auction will continue until tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Go to Orioles.com/auction. Proceeds benefiting the Orioles Charitable Foundation. Flaherty had a 1 for 3 in the ball game last night. Big play, in fact. He picked up a single in the 4th inning. Raimel was on at first. The ball was an infield hit that Headley was able to knock down the glove. Raimel going to second came around the bag a little too fast. Ended up slipping trying to get back and was thrown out by Headley on the play. So the Orioles in that 4th inning could have had runners on at first and second, 1 away. Ended up with 2 down and a runner at first, and that was the end of the inning. Adam Jones next to the plate grounded out. There's a ground ball to second base. Castro back on it. Solid arm. 2 down.
Well, again, I mean, check these out. You're lucky when you score like they have 2.3 runs that you're 2-2. And again, July's been a tough month. You know, Manny Machado under 200, Chris Davis under 200, Matt Wieters under 200. So those numbers will change. Still got some time to change them. But lately, and the Rays pitched pretty well. And Gary, you and I didn't do the games down there, but that's one of the toughest places to hit. Even though the Rays not playing particularly well, it's hard to score runs there.
They still have some pretty good pitching.
Yeah.
The Orioles had only 9 runs in the last 4 games. Pitch just missed inside. Adam Jones, I think, thought it was a strike. 2 down, nobody on.
Also, Brian McCann figured, well, if I just hold it there for 5 seconds, maybe he'll change his mind. He really presented it.
Adam, 2 hits in his last 16 at bats, and a timeout asked for. McCann up, the catcher. It's ironic the Orioles not scoring runs while their team ERA is under 2.5 for the last 6 games. 1-0 pitch on the way is going to be outside. Eovaldi with a 2-0 count on Adam. Adam 3 for 13. Lifetime off the Yankees starter. Leo Bourbon on the left, joining the ball club literally a couple hours ago. In the air, Jones. Gardner will put it away. So a clean inning here in the third for Eovaldi. The Castro home run, the only ones that are on the board. Yankees up 2-0.
Yeah, a youngster turned 21 in March, so I think trying to figure out the numbers. Signed when he was 17, so certainly maturing. You could, he's what, almost 6'3", 175. So I'm sure that as he gets bigger, stronger, he might even end up doing a little bit of starting as he moves up through A-ball. Some nice little numbers out of the pen.
A lot of major leaguers from La Romana and the Dominican. We go to the bottom half of the third inning. And the Yankees top of the order. Brett Gardner, who was called out on strikes his first time up, goes against Worley and will take a strike. Orioles have lost 2 in a row. Yankees have won 2 in a row.
Well, it's funny. I think we maybe, because we broadcast for the Orioles, or come to Yankee Stadium, you read all the stuff. They need to win, otherwise they're going to become sellers. But at the other hand is, I guess maybe it's a myopic look to look that way. They're saying, well, hey, we get to play the first place Orioles. And if we win, not only do we maybe not become sellers, we can take some of the 8 games, now 7 games out of the loss column away. But that's the way we used to look at it. When you get to play a team that's ahead of you.
Good off-speed delivery in their first strike, and lots of games left to be played. This is only the 8th of 19. As the schedule for the Orioles Yankees heavily weighted to the post All-Star portion of the schedule. 1-2 delivery on the way by Worley, and just flicked that, protecting.
Well, he finally swung. He had taken 5 straight strikes with that. So saying, well, I'll look that one over. That one. Finally, I'll flick it. And that's kind of the way he started. He worked the count off of Kevin Gausman in a 1-1 game and sliced a single. And then would eventually score the go-ahead run in the 2-1 victory last night on the sacrifice fly.
Puts that one up in the air. He got jammed a little bit. Scope backing up. And Jonathan's got it for the out. Adam Jones. Text message word of the day, sirloin to 29292. Your chance to win a signed Chris Davis baseball and Outback gift card from Masson. That's sirloin 29292, brought to you by Outback Steakhouse, open for lunch every bloomin' day with over 70 combos starting at $6.99. You don't get to say sirloin a lot during a broadcast.
No.
Adam Jones out there When the scope called for it, Adam put his hands behind his back like he was standing at ease and just watched Jonathan make the play. Didn't move an inch. And then kidded him about it, of course, after he caught it. Here's Jacoby Ellsbury. You can never say Adam doesn't enjoy playing this game, and that's a good thing. Reached on a catcher's interference his first time up. Hit the glove on the ground ball of Caleb Joseph. 2-0 count. Beltran waiting on deck. A straight up D. 2-0 delivery to him. Ellsbury goes to first. Flaherty. Worley covers and 2 down.
Yeah, he was almost far enough away to throw it overhand, and so he catches it, and then he knows Ellsbury can run. Throws a little bit low. There's no flash. That's his nickname. Ryan Flaherty playing everywhere. There you go. Maybe a backhand play. Get it to him early so you can find the ball and then find the bag.
Yeah.
And the other good news is they found his bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great news. He can actually wear clothes now.
He's only 10 floors below his room. Nobody
it's 10
checked in.
floors in New York. I mean, huh?
No, I mean.
Luggage was lost yesterday for those who may have missed it. When he got to the hotel, there was no luggage.
Well, they knew. It's funny, when we were coming home after the game, they knew it went up in the elevator, just didn't know where it ended up.
1-0 delivery on the way, which leads investigators to believe there was some hanky-panky going on. Because if it gets that far in the elevator, it should show up in your room. And Flaherty trying to figure out whether some member of this Orioles team may have been involved in foul play. Pitch to Beltran will be taken. A cutter that's going to miss inside, and the count goes to 3-0. He hit into a double play his first time up. 2 down, nobody on, bottom of the 3rd inning. Beltran with a shift on against him. Lays bat on shoulder and takes. And the count goes to 3-1. See Jonathan Scope out there in right field. Beltran's moved into the top 10 in batting average in the American League, starting the day, number 10. And he draws a walk on 4 pitches, not close. 3 walks surrendered by Worley, 2 in the second, now 1 here.
Yeah, everybody talks about taking the walk, and it's so much easier to do it when you're over 300.
Yeah.
You know, your on base percentage goes up. You bring a home run hitter to the plate. Kind of what happened when Gregorius. It took him a little bit longer as he fouled off 9 or 10 pitches, and then Castro hit the home run.
So let's see if McCann thinks the Orioles pay for that one, and the pitch will be inside to him.
And so you don't get the real close pitches. You're almost saying, boy, that ball might have gotten the edge, but the pitches on the edge are kind of going towards the hitter tonight.
A 1-0 count. Shift remains in effect on McCann. That's going to miss inside.
And that one, either that or low.
McCann proving this ballpark, like the old Yankee Stadium, still pretty good for left-handed hitters. He's had 63 home runs as a Yankee. 42 of the 63 hit here at Yankee Stadium. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that one's going to miss. That cutter's just off the mark.
An inch or 2 low or inside, and of course, you know, center cut, it could be 4-0. You know, McCann, he's a pull hitter. And again, anywhere from the scoreboard over, the ball does carry. I mean, it kind of flies to right field here.
Wind has died down here completely. 3-0, and he had the green light. Orioles had the shift on. Hardy will make the play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. 3 complete. Game 2 of our 4-game set. Yankees up. Of Orioles baseball brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid, all-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com. Back here at Yankee Stadium on this glorious weather evening. In our Major League Notebook, you can look it up. Yankees' new franchise single-season record now, including tonight, 23 straight games without scoring a first-inning run. The former record was 22, set back in 1946 and matched again in 1967. They did not score in the first inning. They did get 2 in the second. Nathan Eovaldi, no walks, no strikeouts, no runs, 2 hits for the Orioles against him. Rickard has one of them, a base hit, came in the first inning. Manny Machado and then Trumbo to follow as we go to the fourth. 2-1-0 for the Yankees, 0-2-1 for the Orioles. Fouled off first base side for the folks back underneath.
Well, pretty efficient. 39. What's he got? 9 outs, 39 pitches. That'll make Joe Girardi, his manager, and Larry Rothschild, his pitching coach, happy. After he was.
He'd love to be back in that rotation on a regular basis.
Well, they would love to have him do what he was able to do last year, which is pitch well. And I think it's kind of easy to say. As we mentioned, he comes from the Marlins. He goes, 6-11 because they get him 2.7 runs. And then last year he pitched well, and they scored him a ton of runs.
And a great pitch to get him.
See, that's the pitch I think that, when I looked at the numbers today, 50% fastballs thrown 98 miles per hour. I mean, he loves it. This is a little splitter change. Great pitch to throw to a good fastball hitter like Joey Rickard. And your Nissan pitch track is such that, the ball just dives out of the strike zone.
Not going to hit that one if he locates it there.
But if he throws that on the first pitch and it's a ball because you're not looking for it, it just changes the whole dynamic of the at bat.
Manny Machado flied out his first time up. Manny will take one down low. For Eovaldi, 4 starts against the Orioles, 3 last year, 1 this year. He has not pitched in any of those starts 6 innings in any of those games. 1-0 count. Machado goes the other way. It's curving foul and will stay there. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Manny going after some new lumber. Manny's still in the top 10 in average, starting the day .311, good for 6th in the league. Second still in doubles behind Ortiz. He and Jonathan Scope are in the top 10 in 2 baggers. Manny's got 30. Scope has got 25, which is good for 6th in the AL. How about those views, huh?
Well, it's so clear and the humidity is so low for a.
Jammed him a little bit. Gregorius, the out. 2 down. On Saturday, the first 20,000 fans 15 and over, 7:05 game against Cleveland. Get the Orioles batting practice cap presented by PNC Bank. Replica cap featuring the cartoon bird and the all-black cap worn for the first time this year by the O's during batting practice. Get your tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD.
Yeah, and this is exactly, as we look at a young Oriole fan, the way you want to face Mark Trumbo. You want to get the first 2 guys out. You have to know as you get into an inning. I mean, you know who's leading off. That was Rickard, but you know who follows him. And you know what happens in a 2-0 game if they get on base.
So Trumbo with nobody on. Mark 3rd in slugging. First, of course, in home runs. Is now the 10th best average against right-handers in the league at .314. And again, that one off the end of the bat to right, not deep. Second baseman Starlin Castro goes over and puts it away. So 1, 2, 3 innings, double play in the second. That's 8 in a row retired by Eovaldi. into that. You can look it up, Paige. Until this year, Ted Williams, 400 home run, 1956, was the only milestone home run, that's 200 or higher, in a 1-0 game. Adam Jones got his 200th this year in a 1-0 game over the Tigers May 13. And last night, Justin Upton hit his 200th in the Tigers' 1-0 win over the Twins. The only three who've had one of those magic home run milestone marks this century in a 1-0 game. Here's A-Rod, who will take the pitch down low for a ball. Rodriguez went after the first pitch in the second inning and grounded out. 1-0 count to him. Rodriguez now with the 69 home runs against the Orioles. Chops that one back to the mound. Worley's got it. And Rodriguez is retired.
Yeah, once again, and Vance Worley makes a great pitch, and then he chases it. It's not what it's what Vance wants, but certainly if you're hitting, boy, you don't want to go for a pitcher's pitch on a 1-0 pitch. So that's what really two balls that A-Rod didn't have much of a chance to do much with, and he swung at both of them.
Maybe, easy out.
Yeah, maybe you can have again, after a tough second inning, you can have an easier inning here. Get the pitch count down and get into the 5th or 6th inning.
That ball chopped to the middle. Scope's got a chance. Bobbled a little, trying to get it to the throwing end. That'll be an infield hit. Gregorius on with an infield single.
Yeah, if you're Vance Worley, when that ball's hit, you know where everybody's playing, and you just know. Fortunately, you make a good pitch. But this guy's hit 350 in the month of July, and even if he doesn't have trouble getting out of the glove, he's not going to throw him out. Even though you very rarely, you can see the transfer coming out of the web, very rarely does Jonathan Scope not have a clear transfer of the ball to the hand. And a nice play by Flaherty. Ball could have gotten by him.
So each team with a couple of hits now. Castro goes after the first pitch down the line. Runner halfway. Trumbo. So Castro out of there, and the Yankees coming up swinging in these first pitches. Our Mile One Automotive upcoming schedule. Mile One Automotive offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit them in store or online at mile1.com. Two more against the Yankees tomorrow night, and then the Thursday afternoon game. The Orioles head home. Chase Headley, a walk his first time up, and he takes the pitch for a strike. 2 down, runner on at first. Gregorius with the infield hit. And the hits are coming hard. Went upstairs on him, and he went after it. 0-2 on Chase Headley.
Yeah, what a tough start for Chase Headley. 4-year deal. He signed it before last season. And then what? All the way into May 15th before his first extra base hit. So unlike him.
Boy, got him. That was right there. Second strikeout. The Orioles and all of us at Masson send along our deepest sympathies to the family of Suzanne Hilgesford, who worked for Major League Baseball. She was in charge of the contract negotiations regarding broadcast. Deeply loved by all who knew her and worked with her, and Major League Baseball will really miss her. First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 supporting Be More for Healthy Babies. 273 walks, $13,650. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us not to pop up on the first pitch. That'll go to first base. And it will be handled, and Scope is retired. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle.
Well,
Boy,
there you go.
everybody's anxious to swing.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's thrown a lot of strikes. I mean, that was the whole idea. Send him to the bullpen, say, okay, let's work on our command. Let's work on being aggressive. And why not? He's got a power arm. He's got 4 pitches. It's not like he's wild. And again, you know, a lot of times you encourage the other team to swing, and if you have good stuff, sometimes it's hard to get hit. So that's 5 leadoff guys retired in the innings. Good way to pitch.
Both pitchers are getting that done, getting leadoff batters out. Alvarez, a base hit, his first time up. The Orioles DH, a hit in 4 times to the plate in the first 2 games of this series. 1-0 delivery to him will be taken down low. Alvarez, 1 home run against the Yankees, team he used to watch growing up about 10 minutes away from here. He's now 3 for 18 lifetime against New York with 1 home run. And that was not hit here at Yankee Stadium. Eovaldi with a 2-0 delivery to him, and that one chopped on and fouled off. Pedro Alvarez with a 2-ball 1-strike count. Eovaldi's name has been mentioned in trade rumors. Of course, at this point, who hasn't been mentioned in trade rumors somewhere? With the trade deadline coming at the end of the month, if you're going to get a trade done without having to go through waivers. Ooh, what was that?
Well, a little cutter, you know, just something other than a fastball to a fastball hitter. Boy, when you get that going.
It had a little wrinkle, didn't it?
Yeah, well, just a little movement. I mean, he's got all the pitches, and he's already established his fastball, so you're hitting off of 95 to 99.
2-2 down to first. F. Snyder goes to the bag. 2 down.
So again, I mean, this is what we looked at it, and you know, a lot of this has to do with the pitch count. So the pitch count, I mean, well in hand. 53 pitches to get 14 outs. So again, maybe those numbers will change, or maybe they're not. Maybe you'll get a guy on, he'll make a mistake, something he hasn't done, and the home run ball that has haunted him will come to play. Otherwise, you'll be in the back end of the bullpen,
yeah,
facing guys that are, you know, throwing around 100. It's kind of the way it is against the Yankees.
J.J. Hardy hit into a double play his first time up. Eovaldi will get the pitch in there for a strike. Orioles trying to avoid being retired in order 3 consecutive innings by this 26-year-old right-hander. Eovaldi's 0-1 delivery to J.J. put up in the air. They're not going to avoid it. Shortstop Gregorius, while everybody's running off the field, gets it away. So the Orioles retired for the 3rd consecutive inning. 1-2-3. Worley back to the mound. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. By First National Bank, redefining convenience in banking. And by University of Maryland University College. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, Yankee Stadium. Names familiar. Babe Ruth, one of them, noted here at the ballpark. Vance Worley goes to work in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the pitch taken by Refsnyder, who grounded out his first time up. Gardner and then Ellsbury up. 2-2-0 for the Yankees, 0-2-1 for the Orioles. Home run Castro, 2 down, 2nd inning. After a 2-out walk to Gregorius, Castro delivered his 11th long ball, and that's it offensively. Only 4 combined hits in the ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Worley has walked 3, struck out 2. Evaldi's walked none, struck out 1. Worley's 1-1 delivery will catch the outside corner. 1-2. Refsnyder, born in South Korea, and when he was only a few months old was adopted to the United States. Grew up in California.
Yeah, Laguna Hill. I was talking about him. I said, boy, you come from a nice area. He said, well, I get out there. He lives in Tampa now with his wife. He said, go out and visit my parents. So she was a 3-sport guy out there.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Young man, only 25.
Well, you know what? I think one of the things that, I mean, it looks like he enjoys, you can see smiling and whatever, and tries to enjoy the game, but he's also, I don't think he tries to do anything more than what he's capable of. Or in other words, hit the ball where it's pitched. And that makes it harder to get a guy out like that because he sprays the ball everywhere. And now he ends up walking.
3-2.
Well, you're wondering at the pitch count at 77, and you would think the Orioles bullpen, because you're still very much in this game.
Kind of ring-a-ding-ding.
Yeah.
So the bullpen will get up. In the 2 starts that Vance Worley made, he threw 79 and 87 pitches. He worked 4 2/3 against Tampa Bay in the first start, 6 innings in that last start against Texas. But again, that's back in April. Despaign's up in the bullpen. So the leadoff man on for the first time in the ball game for either team, and the ever dangerous leadoff walk.
Well, it opens up holes, and Gardner's not a guy. I mean, he can pull the ball. He had 16 home runs last year. Home run total down a little bit, but look at the on-base percentage. So he's willing to take a walk. He already got 44 walks. Tonight he's taken a lot of pitches, but that one he chose to swing at.
Manny Machado even on the grass. Runner goes. Caleb Joseph's throw is a good one, but not in time. So Refsnyder is going to pick up the stolen base.
Yeah, he gets the ball down there and pretty much right on target. But again, I think he steals it on Worley. Boy, that's pretty close. A lot closer than it appeared to be.
Buck Showalter's asking the home plate umpire to hold play up as his video team taking a look, see whether or not he wishes to challenge. Again, everything mattering in these games that are being played so tight to the vest. Looked like he got in.
Yeah, this will tell us. Yeah, looked like he got him right up on the shin. Couldn't drop the throw. What about maybe a foot or 2 high? Perfectly thrown.
So Refsnyder 2 out of 3 stealing bases, puts a runner in scoring position. Both teams had offers last night in these situations. Each team went 0 for 5 with a runner in scoring position. Bunting, and Worley makes sure it stays foul. Well, that's how we're playing this game. Joe Girardi just trying to manufacture a run here in a 2-0 ball game. Gardner trying to get the runner to third.
Yeah, and I think you catch a break a little bit here because you're hoping, because now you have a 1-2 count. But it looked to me he was trying to bunt for a base hit, even though it was a sacrifice situation. So that was not just get it back and make sure that Refsnyder gets the third. It was not only get him over the third, but also get yourself a base hit.
Gardner with the 0 for 2 in the ball game. They'll back up at third. Machado is back about even with the bag, and the pitch 88 inside. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Gardner.
Yeah, Vance Worley's saying, okay, where can I get him out? That's primary, and also not let him hit one to the right side and get the runner to third base, because if you do, you're going to have to play your infield in. It makes Ellsbury on deck a better hitter.
2-2 delivery on the way and fouled off. That one got a piece of Gardner. So he'll take a little walk here.
Yeah, a little cutter. And he fouls it right down. I mean, very rarely do you see a guy foul it off the back foot.
On the top.
Usually you get that right foot if you're left-handed, the front foot.
Gardner only 203 with runners in scoring position this season. 2-ball, 2-strike count. He's got one at second. Gardner down to first. That's going to be foul as well. The Yankees trying to come up with a run here in the 5th inning. And that leadoff man on base. Another extended at bat. 7th pitch will be coming to Gardner.
Yeah, we've seen, it was early on, Vance Worley actually threw a couple balls 92, 93. And you think maybe he'd get Gardner to pop one of those up.
And got him to swing poorly at a pitch well located.
Well, it's, you know, it's the moving fastball. I mean, your Nissan pitch track's going to show you this ball. Gardner thinks it's going to be for the corner, and it just keeps running. You know, a lot of schools of thought. You know, Johnny Sain, terrific pitcher, great pitching coach. Can you make the ball move? Vance Worley can do that.
So here's Ellsbury. Ellsbury's been one of their better hitters in these situations, hitting .309. In fact, among the starters, he has been their best with runners in scoring position. Ellsbury clocks that one foul into the second deck.
Well, he skied a ball last night off of Kevin Gausman that would have probably gone into the, I don't know, third, fourth deck. He hit it, I mean, mile high, but just got underneath it.
There's Kevin watching last night's starter.
Who pitched extremely well.
0-1 count, 1 down. Ellsbury reached on a catcher's interference and is grounded out. Will take that pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Backed away, but it was there. Ellsbury's .238 here at Yankee Stadium this year and .293 on the road. Big difference. And he's hit 3 of his 4 home runs on the road. 0-2 runner off second. Ellsbury will take that one away. The Pigeons have arrived to enjoy a fine seat just around second base on the outfield grass, actually, where they have purchased tickets for the ball game.
Yeah, right, so those are the sunflower seeds, and
a little snack at the ballpark.
Players cooperate, chewing them and spitting them out.
1-2 delivery is going to go where the Pigeons were, and that's going to be a base hit. Refsnyder will score easily. So Ellsbury does it again for the Yankees. Gets the RBI and gives the Yankees a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, really not a bad pitch. I mean, it's just a ground ball. Pitch count's going to get him. But again, it's the walk and the stolen base. You know, just a ground ball. I mean, Scope does everything to try to knock it down. Maybe save a run. And then wise decision by Adam Jones, because he knows he can't throw out Refsnyder.
So that'll be it for Worley. The Orioles will go to the bullpen. Yankees 4 walks off Vance Worley, and 2 of them scored. Spanier coming in.
twirly, really kind of comes out of the bullpen. Hadn't started since April. First batter he faces, Gardner strikes out, and gets Beltran to bounce into a double play. So some early success. Gets hurt by a walk, and here's another fastball to Headley, freezes him, and Gardner here in the 5th inning. So again, those are the numbers. The 2-run home run by Castro. They have picked up a run here in the 5th. And now let's go to our Jiffy Lube pitching change, brought to you by Jiffy Lube, where participating stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube inspect your brakes today. Espana on, the master of all kinds of different speeds, different kind of pitches.
Runner on at first base is Ellsbury, who does have speed. Beltran at the plate.
He's pitched all right. Again, probably obviously more walks, 9 and 15 in the 3rd innings than you would like.
And taking a look at it, it is in there for a strike.
Well, throws a little harder than Vance Worley. We've seen him on occasion anywhere from 91 to 95, where he tops out. And then he's got a little bit of Louis T on. Kind of tuck the shoulder. Of course,
way outside with that one.
And when you have a speedster on, you can't really do that. That's kind of the look he gives you with either a runner that's not going to run or nobody on.
Audrey Sharma to Spanier. Orioles looking for help in the bullpen from Cuba. Lives in Florida. Again, the throw over, not a particularly big lead. Ellsbury over there at first base, hanging pretty tight to the bag. Got the middle of the order coming up here, and you got one of your hottest hitters at the plate.
Well, and you also have a guy at first that if Beltran does hit one by the first baseman Ryan Flaherty, you're going to probably get 1st and 3rd unless he just hits a line drive.
1-1 delivery. Boy, that one dropped off, and a 1-ball 2-strike count right over the top on that one for Beltran.
Well, Despaigne has good stuff. I was surprised. I'd seen him pitch on television, but I mean, he's got a nice, really array of stuff. It just sometimes maybe the control or the command wanders a little bit.
1-2, runner not going, and Beltran will foul that one away again at 78 miles an hour. Really messing up the stride here. Beltran, who's been on that front foot on the last 2 pitches. Trying to fight it off. The 1-ball 2-strike count. Yankees 3 runs on 3 hits.
Yeah, when you have a good curveball, and the last 2 have been that'll play in the zone.
Throw over, and again back to back. So Jacoby Ellsbury drawing interest from Despaigne at first base. With those 16 stolen bases he has, caught 7 times. There he goes. And that one's down the line and foul. 2-strike count.
That's what we saw him do last night. He ignited the rally, taking a 2-strike pitch like that and serving it the other way. I think ideally, if you're pitching, you want a guy to, air it out, strike out, either hit a double play ball like he did, but punching balls foul just makes it harder to get guys out. Eventually, they maybe get better pitches to hit.
1-2, runner goes again, and that's going to get away. Making the turn at 3rd and going all the way over. Ellsbury, throw, not in time. So he'll get a stolen base, and then fastball or wild pitch.
Yeah, curveball that bounces again and way out in front. And again, I mean, it's a ball I think Caleb Joseph thought he was going to be able to catch. And not only he doesn't catch it, because they're running, and you can see how long it is from behind home plate here at Yankee Stadium. Nice throw, and that way again, he might be out.
So they're going to challenge this.
Yeah, he is out. Yep. So
Showalter had the video team take a look at it and tells the home plate umpire Todd Titchener that they are going to challenge the call at 3rd base.
Could be very fortuitous because he definitely tags him before the leg gets in there.
So they don't have to go to New York. They'll stay in New York, actually, but they'll go to Manhattan rather than the Bronx.
Well, I mean, there it is. He's definitely out, and I mean, the glove is laying on his ankle.
And this is going to take about 10 seconds. He is out.
Yep.
Good play by Caleb Joseph to make the throw down there on the money. Tag put on by Manny Machado, and obviously that is a big out because that ends the inning. Two down rather, and it takes the runner off the base.
Well, it
paths.
would be very easy when you pride yourself in being a good defensive catcher and you can't block it that you don't really hustle. But he did everything other than that, and then made a perfect throw.
So the Yankees, nobody on, 2 down. Beltran 2-2 count, and Foul tipped that, or did he hit it? No, he's out. So Despaigne gets the strikeout. Strange ending to the 5th inning. Yankees got a leadoff walk, RBI by Ellsbury, and they now have a 3-0 lead.
Geico high rights after the Alvarez single. J.J. Hardy would come to the plate. And again, Evaldi, a nice little pitch, routine double play. And then Gregorius would lead it off in the second. He'd work about a 10-pitch base on ball just off the corner. 3-1 pitch to Starlin Castro. Home run number 11. Upper deck here at Yankee Stadium to make it 2-0. Yankees would order add another run. Geico 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Taken for a strike by Caleb Joseph, who lined out to short. His only time to the plate. Flaherty and then Jones to follow. Evaldi, with no walks and 1 strikeout, has retired the last 11 Orioles faced in this ball game. The Orioles went through such a stretch last night, in fact, from the 5th inning through the part of the 7th, where they were being retired by both Nova and then Betances and Miller. But Evaldi working this one. 2 ball, 1 strikeout. The Yankees trying to even up the season series. They could win it 4-4. That'll miss down low, and he falls behind. 3-1.
Well, you need something to help you get back in. You need it could be a walk. It could be a little looper. Caleb worked on his hitting early. Flaherty on deck, lined it hard, but right at the shortstop.
That's in there for a strike.
And I mean, that's part of the process. Yeah, that's part of the process. You know, take another pitch. Going to probably, because of the scoreboard, get the same pitch, 3-2. But you made him throw a strike.
And the full count delivery will be down the line in right field. And Beltran is over, and he'll put it away. Joseph retired. Leadoff man out here in the 6th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. So for Vance Worley, the Orioles starter, charged with the 3 runs on 3 hits, 4 1/3 innings. 4 walks got him in trouble. 2 of them scored. 3 strikeouts. Big blow, the Castro home run. Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty grounded out his first time up. Flaherty 1 for 4 so far in the 2 games. Ryan's put up outstanding numbers against the Yankees. Came in this year hitting .294 against them, and here in this ballpark at .264 career average. Fastball will be up high, 1-1. Eovaldi's had the on button going. He gets the ball back and gets it back in.
Well, why not? He's thrown 62 pitches, 38 for strikes, hasn't given up any runs.
Flaherty will foul off one that was down.
I mean, that's
93.
the cutter. Yeah, 93, 94. When he's, you get a guy like Flaherty that's a good fastball hitter, you have options. And what he hasn't done, his second primary pitch other than his fastball has been the splitter. Now he's thrown it, but he's kind of put it in his back pocket. Only every once in a while will he throw it.
1-2 delivery by the right-hander. That's going to.
And I actually think, I mean, to me right there, I thought he slowed his arm down. So I don't know if the hitter can see that, but it's almost like when you're throwing 95 to 99, almost doing a favor when you telegraph your changeup. And maybe that's been one of the problems with the 19 home runs. Is that, and tonight he hadn't done that very often.
1-2 delivery on the way. Check swing. He'll check it. No, he didn't. So Ryan Flaherty working the count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Orioles need base runners here. Give themselves an opportunity to get the offense going. Yankees with a victory last night, back to 500, 46-46. It's the 11th time this year they've been to 500. And that's going to be inside on a full count 3-2. The Orioles this season against ball clubs below 500 are 25-9. They've got the best record in the majors against teams under 500. Teams 500 or better, 28-29. Rips it down the line and foul. Boy, we've had the first 2 games of this series. We've had 4 or 5 balls down that line that have been just that close.
Yeah, and then last night, Ryan Flaherty hit one almost straight away to the base of the wall. A rocket. Ellsbury plays very deep, ran it down. Same with Matt Wieters. And that's what happens. You don't hit a lot of balls hard. The hard ones get caught.
And he walked in. So with 1 away, the Orioles will get the first walk surrendered by Eovaldi. See what they can do with it. On Sunday, the celebration of the 50th anniversary 66 World Champions continues. First 20,000 fans, 15 and over, 135 game, are going to get the 66 Jim Palmer replica jersey. It's presented by UMBC's 50th anniversary. So don't miss out. That's coming up on Sunday. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. All flannel, no perspiration avoided.
Perfect on 99-degree days.
Right. Here's Adam Jones 0 for 2. Takes a strike. He is flied out and grounded out. For Adam, hitting under 140 now against the Yankees this year. 1 home run, 3 RBIs. This is the 143rd game Adam has played against the Yankees, more than any other Oriole. 0-1 pitch to the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Turn will be made at second, and staying will be Flaherty. As Ellsbury charges, with the Orioles with 1 down, have 2 on.
Yeah, Eovaldi tries to, McCann goes up and in, and he throws the ball down the way. Look where the target is, and he misses by about 18 inches. And that allows Adam Jones to extend the arms. And we saw it last night. Led off the game with a base hit up the middle. Maybe
the Orioles get the
here.
potential tying run to the plate here in the top of the 6th inning. And based on the walk and that base hit, Yankee bullpen begins to move. Nobody warming up yet, but folks start to stretch. And here's Joey Rickard. A base hit, and he has struck out. Now each team with 3 hits in the ball game. Let's see if the Orioles can take advantage of this. Their first opportunity getting a runner in scoring position tonight. 0 for 5 last night. Rickard takes it for a strike. It's where the Orioles have struggled here in the month of July. Only 7 for their last 69 with runners in scoring position. Still overall 277.
Yeah, they came into the beginning of the month about 292. They're down to 277, and so they were leading when they started that West Coast trip.
Rickard will try and add to the positive side of those numbers. Joey 273 on the year in these situations. 1-1 strike count and 1 down. Flaherty at second, Jones at first. Valdi's delivery will be outside.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, I mean, it looks like he's getting more, looking at the scouting reports and saying, well, now the third time through the order, and of course that number jumps up. I mean, it goes to 406, and that's where you are. I got to get away from my fastball. So there you go. Those are pretty telling numbers.
2-1 strike count, plus the fact he hasn't started for a while. 2-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to get down the line again, curving, and again it will be a foul ball by just that much in the corner.
Yeah, when things are going well, that ball's about 4 feet to the left, and everybody runs, and that's potential. It's a double, maybe even a triple with Rickard's speed. I mean, it's what you want to do, and the ball just slicing away, and maybe not 3 feet. It ends up, what, 5, 6, 7 feet. Not a lot of room down the right field line here, nor the left.
Eovaldi's last 3 appearances have been out of the bullpen for the Yankees, throwing only 7 1/3 innings combined in those 3 games. His last start, July 1, he went 4 1/3. And that one ripped foul the other way. And I don't think there's any question this is not the same Eovaldi we saw through the first 5 innings.
And now it looks like
out of gas.
They are going to get a little action out of their bullpen. Nobody throwing yet, but getting up and stretching. There's the pitching coach, Larry Rothschild. Yeah, and he's watching about the execution of the pitches, and they're just not as crisp.
Eovaldi had retired 12 in a row before the walk to Flaherty, and then the base hit by Jones. And Rickard's had a couple of pretty good cuts. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eovaldi's delivery is going to be way outside, and the count goes full 3-2.
Anthony Swarzak. So there's the right pitch, but in the wrong location. Not even close. Out of his hand, a ball. So now here you go. 3-0 lead. Got to throw a strike. Good fastball hitter. What are you going to throw?
Full count, 1 down. Runner's not going anywhere. Ball goes to left field. Gardner going over. Can't get it. Flaherty was off to a good start. He'll make the turn and score. Jones goes to third. It's a double for Rickard and an RBI. And the Orioles are on the board. It is 3-1 and still 2 in scoring position as Rickard comes through.
And the quality of the pitch right here. 3-2 down the middle. One of the quicker bats on the team. Young Rule 5 guy. And he can hit the heater. And he gets it. And then Gardner can't run it down. Makes a nice play getting to it quickly. And Bobby Dickerson's going to stop him because of the fact, even though Gregorius drops it, that Gardner got to it so quickly. Otherwise, the Orioles would have had their second run.
Rickard gets his 19th RBI of the season. Larry Rothschild out. He's trying to draw time for the bullpen. It's not ready yet. And he will take his full 32nd allotment. And Eovaldi in trouble. The Orioles have the potential tying run now at second base, still only 1 away. And Manny Machado coming up. Machado 0 for 2. He is flied out, grounded out, so 1 for 10 against Eovaldi lifetime. That one hit a home run. Base hit here, and this ball game can be tied up. Orioles out hitting the Yankees 4-3. Eovaldi's delivery to him, and that will be outside for a ball.
Yeah, see all the pitch. You could see the emotional problem that's coming on. That pitch was a strike early. Now, again, we get a little more uptight. Orioles are 1 hit away from tying it.
1-0 delivery to Manny, and that's the same place outside again. The count goes to 2-0.
He's gotten away from the fastball for strike 1, and now all of a sudden trying to throw the cutter. Get behind the hitters, and now you know what Manny's sitting on. He's looking for a fastball, and if he ends throwing a cutter in the middle of the plate, you might see a 3-run home run here.
Manny Machado has had only a couple of hits in his last 21 at bats. 2-0 delivery on the way and a check swing. They wanted it checked at first. New Ryan Knight down there. So the count goes to 3-0. 2 on, 1 down.
Yeah, this is a zoom ball, and you can see Manny. The bat head never ever gets past home plate.
Jones off third base. Rickard off second. And Eovaldi wants the signs again from McCann. Here's the 3-0 delivery to Manny, and the bases are loaded. So that's the second walk surrendered. Both have come in this inning. First one scored. That was Ryan Flaherty. Bases loaded. 1 down. Trumbo coming to the plate. Eovaldi's out of gas, and Girardi's going to come get him. So Nathan Eovaldi is done, and the Yankees will go to the bullpen here in the 6th inning. As Eovaldi, he was in control through 5, and after retiring 12 in a row, that walk to Flaherty opened the door, and the Orioles' next 4 hitters have all reached.
So Nathan Eovaldi, I mean, it's still a chance to win, but it's kind of coming apart here. A lot of strikes early. Struggled here in the 6th inning. So the Orioles, he will leave with the bases loaded. Anthony Swarzak, who we saw pitching for Minnesota, they signed him in February, and he went down to their AAA Scranton Ball Club, the Railroaders. He started. It was in 15 games, started 6 of them. Fastball slider pitcher, with a pretty good arm. Fastball 92, 93. He'll face Mark Trumbo, who is 1 for 5 lifetime off him.
Swarzak, major leaguer, long time, Minnesota 2009. He broke into the majors, pitched for them for some 5 seasons. Last year with Cleveland, 10 games, 3.38 ERA. Mark Trumbo, bases loaded. What a big chance for the Orioles. Only 1 down. Trumbo has flied to right twice. And the pitch to him will be in there for a strike. So the Orioles getting on the board here in the 6th inning, and now a chance to do a good deal of damage, with Eovaldi responsible for all of the base runners, and Trumbo with that big bat. 0-1 pitch in the air, right field, not deep. Starlin Castro, foul territory, called off. Nice play. Jones tags. Throw to the plate on the money. Ref Snyder, the first baseman, got over there, made the catch, and then made a tremendous throw as Jones was tagging up intending to score.
Well, he's an outfielder, infielder, and again, you think Castro's going to have a better angle, but look at the last move right there. And again, strong throw, 1 hopper, would have been a short hop, would have been a tough play. Again, we've seen this a couple of times on plays like this, and I think with the bases loaded, Scope coming up, if you're Bobby Dickerson, you don't send him because you're hoping to get a base hit. So Swarzak comes on and gets a big out for Trumbo.
Good help by his defense. Now Jonathan Scope. Scope 0 for 2. Swarzak 2 down. Sack still full. Pitch down low. McCann scoops it. Jonathan 265. Runners in scoring position. He's got Jones at third, a single. Rickard an RBI double, and the walk to Manny Machado. Now Jonathan a chance for a big hit. So a key moment in this ball game here in the 6th inning, because if you get through this and the Orioles stay behind, here we go again with the threesome out of the bullpen for the Yankees.
Yeah, and Joe Girardi talking again. I mentioned it, I guess, in the open. He said all 3 of them are available. Even though they have pitched in 3 consecutive, would have if they would pitch tonight in 3 consecutive games.
Warzek with a 1-0 count. Pitch to Scope with the sacks full. Another one that's going to be down low. Nowhere to put him in a 2-0 count.
See, the thing with Jonathan, he's become he's become much more patient. I'm not saying he's a guy that's up there to walk, because that's not what he's trying to do. But if you throw that same slider inside half, I mean, he's going to smoke it down the left field line. You know, down and away, you know, that's the pitcher's pitch.
2-0 delivery on the way to him. Scope goes after it and pops it up. Maybe shortstop. Gregorius. How about that? Swarzak bangs the glove. Couple of big pop outs to end the inning. The Orioles will get only 1. They pick up a couple of hits and they will leave the bases loaded. 3-1. Aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Thanks for the blimp shots. First 25,000 fans 15 and over at the Astros game are going to get the Crush Davis bobblehead, a unique collector's item. That word is used appropriately in that sentence. It's the superhero along with his sidekick Samson. Need we say more? We could, but they're batting. At the plate, Brian McCann. Here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, McCann is flied out and grounded out. A-Rod and then Gregorius are due up for the Yankees. Despaigne on the mound in relief of Vance Worley. Evaldi charged with a run on 4 hits and 5 1/3. He had 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Despaigne with a 2-0 delivery, and that's going to be outside. Shift on against McCann. Brian McCann with the 0 for 2 in this one, 0 for 4 in the first 2 games. 3-0 pitch on the way to him. Taken. It's there for a strike.
Yeah, that's his power zone. But he wanted to see a fastball, so now you kind of see the velocity and the movement. See if he gets another one to hit.
3-1 delivery, taking again. That's the 5th walk surrendered by the 2 Oriole pitchers. And our Major League notebook on this date in baseball. It was 1991 when Cal hit his 20th home run of the season, became just the 8th player with 20 home runs in his first 10 Major League seasons. And in 1918, Eddie Ainsmith lost his fight to avoid the draft. He was playing baseball, professional baseball, and it was ruled that baseball was a non-essential occupation, one that did not justify a deferral from the draft, so he got drafted. But now for the rest of the story. Eddie Ainsmith had a friend by the name of Calvin Griffin who owned some baseball teams, who talked to the Secretary of War, and after he was denied the exemption from the draft, he ended up playing in Baltimore for the Baltimore Harbor baseball team. So that's how he spent the war. They had a lot of baseball played during both World War I and World War II. And a lot of players from the majors ended up doing that during both world wars, playing in armed forces leagues. 1 ball, 1 strike count. A-Rod going after a good pitch down and away, 1-2.
Yeah, if he could go up there and hand it to Caleb Joseph, Despaigne would have thrown it right and handed it right there.
A-Rod's home run last night, 69th against the Orioles. He's now ahead of Harmon Killebrew, the all-time leader in home runs against the O's since the O's came to Baltimore in 1954. Runner at first, nobody out. Despaign's 1-2 delivery. A-Rod will foul it off. Talking with A-Rod before the game, we mentioned last night and he did it again today. Special batting practice, had the cage right in on the plate, forcing him to pull the ball, get his hands in on pitches that were inside. And he said, you know something? He said, if you're going to be an RBI guy and you're going to hit for some power, which is what I'm paid to do, you got to pull the ball. And I wasn't pulling the ball enough. He said, if I hit a ball from center right, he said, unless I really drive it, I'm just going to get a fly ball out. So he's gone back to try and pull. That time, he's a K.
Yeah, and try to get the ball in the air. And right here, I mean, if you can't hit it, it's not going anywhere. Again, Despaigne, you know, again, he surprises you. I mean, he sneaks this ball right by him at 95.
So 1 down with the runner at first.
I mean, Despaigne, you know, when you look at your options as a starter, he did start down at AAA Norfolk. And again, he's got kind of starter array of pitches. He's got 4 or 5 of them.
He's got a starter. Well, he's got a pitcher's mentality. He's got a hit this mentality.
Yeah, and he's, you know, started in the major leagues before.
Gregorius up. Gregorius has walked, scored, and singled. Castro had the home run in the 2nd inning. Gregorius came in ahead of him for the 2-0 lead. And then the RBI and the Ellsbury single in the 5th inning. Orioles responding. RBI double by Rickert in the 6th. And Castro is on deck. Despaigne, the 1-0 delivery on the way, and a check swing down to third. The spin will take it foul. Gregorius will come back to the plate. Gregorius has had 3 RBIs against the Orioles this season, and this is the 8th game they have played. What a successful season he has had so far, doing what the Yankees had hoped would come around last year. Has found its place this year, both at the plate and in the field. 1-1 delivery to him.
Yeah, good changeup. And again, a lot of movement. You know, velocity. I mean, he cut the check swing was a cutter in on his fist. Then he turns it over. Then he throws it by you. I think the only thing when he started, he'd just have to be a little more aggressive so the pitch count could stay somewhere in the 80 to 90 to 100 range.
Runner off first, 1-2. That's going to be a base hit into left field. He can. We'll go to second. And the Yankees have 2 on here in the 6th inning.
Well, that's part of hitting, putting in play. I was talking to him before. I said, so what's the difference? He said, well, I just feel like I can use my hands a little bit more. And he just flicked that ball, let it travel, didn't overswing.
So Despaigne with 2 on and 1 down. Gregorius having a big night. A walk, 2 singles. And that sets the stage for Castro, who had the home run. 1 for 2 in the ball game. And the Yankees a shot at getting that run back that the Orioles got in the top half of the inning, and maybe more. Espana will look for the ground ball double play and end the inning right here. And the pitch away for a ball. Yankees 1 for 2 in these situations. Neither team's had a lot of chances. There's Matanzas.
Yeah. So he is usually your 7th inning guy.
One-0 delivery on the way. Fastball up. And the count goes to 2-0.
Despite, well, he's looked in even last inning. I mean, this is a little cutter. I think Todd Tichenor called it high. That's kind of where you lower that ball 4 inches. That's the home run ball. That was a cutter. But you called it. It's been a consistently in favor of the hitter tonight. You got to throw it more in the middle of the plate than you'd like.
And outside with that 3-0. Espana reminds me of Fernando Rodney. He looks a little bit like him. His mannerisms are very much the same. The hat cocked a little bit. The jersey,
he doesn't throw 100
off.
like Rodney. Doesn't have the changeup. But yeah, you're right.
Just kind of.
Oh, I think Dave Wallace, the Oriole pitching coach, said, "Listen, he kind of looks like a guy that pitches in the Cuban Industrial League, which is where he comes from." And he said, and there's not, he's not being derogatory or whatever. He said, "I scouted down there. They're very competitive. They show you a lot of different pitches and whatever, and that's what he does. And no 2 pitchers are the same."
And they style it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just part of the play there.
Well, you've done the playoffs in the World Baseball Classic, and that's part of the culture.
3-1 strike delivery to him, and that's going to be a base hit to right field. That's in the gap. It'll go all the way to the wall. McCann will score. Gregorius is being waved home into the cutoff man. It's a double and 2 RBIs. What a night for Castro. A 4 RBI game and a 5-1 Yankee lead.
Well, you're learning why they got him. He's young. Again, they just had other players they were going to play in Chicago. So again, he waits. He doesn't overswings. Already hit a home run. Hit a double down the right field last night. Double on Sunday night to help the Yankees beat David Price and the Red Sox. And then look at the speed right here. It's like a 220 for Gregorius. There you go. Good high ball hitter. Spray hitter with power.
So the Yankees, through Castro, 4 RBIs, 4 of the 5, take a 5-1 lead in the ball game. And with the runner at second base, still only 1 away, Chase Headley has drawn a walk, and he has struck out. Hart up in the bullpen, appeared in the game last night. Pitch taken away. Castro has had as many as 6 RBIs in a game. He's done that twice, so this isn't a high. That'll bring Dave Wallace out to the mound now as Espana all over the place with pitches. And again, another walk is scored. McCann, leadoff walk in the inning. There have been 6 walks issued by the Oriole pitchers, and 3 of them have scored. This has happened to the Orioles a number of times this season. They've been unable to stop opposing teams after they score. The Orioles getting a run on the top of it to make it 3-1. The Yankees come right back and have already put 2 up in the bottom half of the inning. That is there for a strike 2 and 1 on Headley.
Yeah, it really started the end of June when they went out on the West Coast. They scored, 11 and 12 runs against the Padres, but they still gave up a ton of runs, 6 and 7. Then they got swept 4 in a row every time they score in Seattle. Seattle come right back and score more runs. Never could sustain any kind of offense because of the lack of pitching. And
that knocks the stuffing out of you. Those kind of games, those kinds of innings. So a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, it's almost like Despondent doesn't realize this stuff is as good as it is when he does. He's afraid to throw it over.
2-2, runner off second base, and that'll be up high. So he will go full.
Again, Miguel will give you all kinds of different looks, but at the end of the day, if you can throw 95, you can throw 95. It's a good place to start. 93 to 95, and then establish that. Use your other pitches.
Castro edging off second base. 3-2 delivery on the way, and that ball will go to right. Right at Trumbo makes the catch. So Headley is retired. 2 down in the 6th inning. We'll bring up Refsnyder on that bullpen phone, as we surely will see at least one, if not a couple more, out of the bullpen for the Orioles. Refsnyder scored after drawing a walk in the 5th inning, a leadoff walk. He has grounded out. 1 hit, 4 at bats in the first 2 games of the series. 2 down, and the pitch away for a ball.
Maybe just a smidgen off the outside corner, but doesn't look like it. Sometimes the center field angle's a little bit off. I just kind of look at where the glove was. Kind of hit Caleb Joseph's glove.
1-0 delivery, and that's there. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Espana got the final out in the 5th inning. Double, single, walk, and 2 runs off him here in the 6th. And Castro with the big hits. That one is ticky-tacked into the seats now. So Refsnyder with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Yankees, of course, not noted for the offense. 5-run game for them. It's really a splurge. As the Yankees on the season, 4.1 runs per game, 12th in the American League. 1-2 delivery, and that'll be blooped in the air towards left field. Rickard coming hard and makes a nice running catch. Yankees get a couple of hits, 1 left on. They extend their lead. Our Honda do-ups. Orioles will look to Alvarez, Hardy, Joseph. Skyline of New York City in Manhattan, and the skyline of this game, 5-5-0 for the Yankees, 1-4-1 for the Orioles. Worley, pitcher of record. Castro, big night, 4 RBIs, and the Orioles, we'll see on the road trip, 2 for 24 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, I got him like 12 for almost 80. Going back all the way to the West Coast trip. And You threw what, 6 out of 69, and that went up a little bit today. Well, Swarzak, pitched in Korea last year. As you mentioned, one thing about it, when you look at pitchers, will he throw the ball over the plate? And I think you touched on something important. You come out of the Minnesota Twins organization, you may not have a power arm, but you can throw strikes, or you don't pitch in the big leagues.
0-1 delivery on the way. And the pitch taken down low. We were looking, though, Betances, who had warmed up last half inning, by adding those 2 runs in the 6th inning, making it 5-1, it allows Girardi to keep Betances down, which they want to do as much of as they can because he is used so much. He would have come in if the ball game had remained close, and it still is, but it's a lot different 5-1 than 3-1.
And Swarzak, again with the 15 games down at AAA, 6 of them starts. He could pitch multiple innings. I mean, he's basically a 2-pitch pitcher, but the slider, a pretty good pitch. That got him out of the 6th inning with the bases loaded.
And he'll come inside and miss with that. Swarzak pitched against the Red Sox 3 days ago. He went 2 2/3 innings in that game in his last appearance, and they were scoreless. 2 2/3 with a walk and a couple of strikeouts. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Pedro Alvarez 1 for 2 with a base hit in the game, and he's gone on a strikeout.
Yeah, there's your first close pitch that's gone the other way. And Pedro was probably saying all night long, you haven't called the close pitches. He thinks it's low, and it probably was. And you can see McCann bring the glove up. Even better angle. Again, trying to more offense, get the ball more lively. I don't think anybody's going to argue about that except maybe the commissioner. And then also don't call the low strike, but it got called there.
J.J. Hardy. And a strike taken. How long, you saw Buck on that one, will managers, coaches be able to tie themselves down and not argue balls and strikes based on the directive issued at the end of last week by Joe Torre, telling managers and coaches, I don't want any more of this arguing balls and strikes. 0-1 pitch on the way, will be outside, and the count goes to 1-1.
Well, part of the game is yelling and screaming. I mean, the thing about, when I played for Earl Weaver and he got thrown out close to 100 times.
You never hollered?
No, he did, but he wouldn't wear his glasses. He was too vain. He couldn't tell. I mean, all he cared about is the results. If a guy struck out, the umpire was having a bad night.
There you go.
One of our guys.
There you go. Get out the checkbook because I'm going back to the office.
And then you had the some of the older umpires, Nestor Shylax, would just kind of wave him off. George Maloney the same way, and then Steve Palermo was a terrific umpire, and he would get engaged. And it made part of the diet. I mean, if you weren't pitching, what else are you going to do? It was boring.
2-1 delivery on the way is popped up back towards the seats. McCann comes back, but there's no play. 2-ball, 2-strike count. J.J. Hardy 0 for 2, 0 for 5 in the first 2 games. Caleb Joseph waiting on deck. Top of the 7th inning, 5-1 lead for the Yankees. Yankees trying to win 3 in a row, and now hitting the Orioles by just 1.
They had 11-game homestand, and they needed to go 8-3, so he started out 0-2, and if they win the night, then he would be 3-2. With 2 more against the Orioles, and then the Giants come in.
They've got to win against the division, something they have not done very well this season, as the Yankees are 12-19 against the East, while the Orioles have had the best number in the East against division opponents, 24-15. The Yankees have done very little offensively against Eastern Division teams so far. 2-2 pitch on the way, and he dropped that one in and gets it.
Well, that's the slider, so it's going to be 1 of 2 pitches. But again, when you throw in 92 to 94, and then you have this pitch, and again, a lot of times, a little bit of a Chaz Rowe slider where it looks like it's hittable, but the break is still good enough to get away from the bat hit, even though it's in the strike zone.
So Swarzak getting the job done, retiring the 4 batters faced so far.
Well, let's be honest. Does anybody really think he was going to come in with the bases loaded and only 1 out and not give up a run?
No.
Figure.
Not in any way. Over to first. Ref Snyder. No chance.
He made a great pitch to Trumbo, and then was able to get even though he got behind Jonathan Scope, finish him off with another pop-up on a great slider.
Orioles leaving the bases loaded in the 6th inning, getting only the 1 run. Caleb Joseph 0 for 2. Caleb, after his first hit against the Yankees this year, 0 for 6 right now. 0-1 delivery to him will bounce away. Tell you about the Yankees in the division. The Yankees coming into this game were hitting .218 against division opponents and scoring just over 3 runs, 3.06 a game against the East for Joe Girardi's team. And those are the lowest marks for the Yankees against their own division since 1969. 0-2 pitch on the way, and that will be fouled off. So Caleb holds the count at 0-2. The Orioles will hope for tomorrow that Chris Davis, battling the flu, might be able to play, but he's really been weakened by what he's gone through with that flu bug. And he's here tonight. We haven't seen him out on the bench. He was here at least. He may have gone back to the hotel even. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball towards the hole. Backhanded. Gregorius long throw. Nice play. Strong arm by the Yankees shortstop. 7th inning stretch time here in the Bronx. The Yankees have a 5-1 lead. As we've mentioned, he grew up only about 10 minutes from the ballpark, Washington Heights section of Manhattan. El Nuevo Caridad is a restaurant that has the Pedro Alvarez sandwich on the menu. They've got a lot of them named after a lot of baseball players. There's Alvarez right there at the bottom in the center. His dad helped him play ball, learn the game on these fields in Washington Heights. Lived in an apartment. They did not have a lot of money. Dad was a cab driver, but very strict with the 2 kids, Pedro and his sister, regarding education. And Pedro thanked his dad when we were talking with him yesterday for doing that, as he has valued education above all else, including the game. Pedro has a tremendous understanding of the fact that he's not going to play the game his entire life, and something's got to be done when he's got to do something when it's over. Great credit.
Yeah, went to Vanderbilt, and #1 draft choice. As we're looking at Donnie Hart. So again, busy. Gets called up during the Tampa Bay series down at the Trop. Came in last night and pitched. Fastball, slider, changeup pitcher. Kind of a left-handed specialist. Marlins, with their capabilities offensive, runs have been hard to come by the last couple of nights, and even in Tampa. When you bring somebody in, you match up. And I think the other thing is you're going to see if he's going to be able to pitch at this level. They need a lefty, at least at this point, with McFarland on the DL, and O'Day trying to work his way back. Brian Dunsing had to have elbow surgery, bone chips. Looked like he might play a major role. Where Brian Mattis used to assume that role. So Hart pretty important at the moment.
He worked 2/3 of an inning last night. They gave up a walk and a hit. So Hart will work here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 5-5-0 for the Yankees. 1-4-1 for the Orioles. Top of the order, and Brett Gardner 0 for 3 in the ball game, including a couple of strikeouts. Gardner will take the pitch inside for a ball. Gardner 1 hit, 7 at bats. First couple of ball games in this 4-game set. Gardner got a look at Hart in the ball game last night. Machado in at third base. Started to bail out with that front foot. The pitch ended up high, 2-0.
Yeah, Michael Gibbons, the new dad. He's getting loose. Yeah, the one thing about Gardner, 1 hit, and that happened to be the run that was the winning run last night.
242 off left-handers for him. That pitch will be outside. 3-0.
I thought the first pitch was called a strike, but the scoreboard has a 3-0.
Gardner on the 3-0 is taking, and that is going to be in there for a strike. Left-handers with the Bay Sox this year for Hart. Hit only a .158. Really didn't do much against him at all. You can understand with that delivery. 3-1 pitch on the way. Gardner waiting on it, and he's got a base hit just out of the reach of scope. So Gardner gets a leadoff single for the Yankees in the bottom of the 7th inning. Follow Orioles baseball live with MLB.com at BAT app. Stay up to the moment, any moment. Game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at BAT #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet.
Yeah, the degree of difficulty when you get to the big leagues, and you just saw it. Yeah, you come in, you match up. Gardner's not going to get up 600 times if he can't hit lefties. So when he works to count the 3 and 1, the splits don't favor Donnie Hart.
Ellsbury bunting, beautiful drag bunt. Love fielding, nice play by Hart, who remained calm through it all and got it out of the glove to Flaherty. It'll be a sacrifice. Gardner to second.
Well, if you're going to do that, you better use a small pitching glove. Otherwise, the ball's going to get caught in the webbing. He made it look pretty routine.
Good defensive play, and now Beltran coming up. So a runner at second base and 1 down. Beltran another RBI chance. Hit into a double play, struck out and walked. There's the glove toss. So intentional pass will be surrendered here with first base open, with McCann waiting on deck. And Gardner doing what he should do at second base, getting as far off as he can just in case.
Well, Donnie Hart better pay attention. Come on, turn around, look. Yeah, there you go. Otherwise, Gardner, the Reds just going to go
take off.
Yeah, even though J.J. Hardy's standing right behind him. Of course, if you go, you better make it.
Yeah. Yeah. Should they do away with the intentional walk pitches and just say go?
Let's do away with everything. You can't argue.
Okay, good.
Yeah. You don't even have to. Yeah, you just. Yeah. I always thought it was. Again, I didn't intentionally walk a whole lot of guys. Though you practice, it's hard to do.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I think it adds a dimension to the game.
Well, it's the oddball chance of the pitch that goes wild or the one the guy hits.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw Miguel Cabrera when he first came up. We were playing interleague baseball in Baltimore when he was playing for the Marlins. He won a game on an intentional walk with a single to center field. because he thought it was Little League. He used to do that in Little League.
Yep.
You know, if they wanted to walk you, I'm not going to let you walk me.
Aaron Hicks will come on to pinch run for Beltran at first base, as he did in the game last night. Here's McCann. 1 down, 2 on. And McCann takes the pitch for a strike. McCann this year is 241 off lefties and 242 off righties. 0-1 count to him. Another big moment in the game. The Orioles still well within striking distance, but can't afford to give up any more to the Yankees. Down 5-1. Check swing fouled off.
Yeah, I think that there are other ways to speed the game up. I mean, make the pitcher throw the ball within a certain amount of seconds. You know, hitters are supposed to stay in the box. You don't see that. I mean, guys go wandering around and they got to adjust the glove and whatever. They're supposed to keep 1 foot in the bag. They're not really making hitters do that. And I mean, nothing against hitters now that I'm retired. So, do whatever they want to do. But if you're trying to speed the game up, that's certain rules they don't adhere to.
Inside to him. I was looking today. The average length of games is up 5 minutes compared to last year.
What's it, about 3:05 now?
3:05, yeah. The Orioles play a game in 3:05. Hallelujah.
Hey, in New York, you're going to get back to the hotel 11, 11:30. Doesn't matter.
Yep. 1-2 delivery on the way. McCann goes to first base. Up with it is Flaherty. Hardy, there's one. And the strategy works. Hart gets over to cover. Orioles turn the double play after the intentional walk. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. Base runner left on. The Orioles coming up in the 8th inning, trailing it by 4. Game 3 of this 4-game set will have Ivana Gallardo on the mound against Michael Pineda. Our coverage on MASN 6:30 O's Extra presented by Jeep. Game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN.
So Giovanni said he's going to challenge the hitters. And you can see Pineda actually pitched a little bit better at late. You can see the whip. That's walks and hits per innings. So let's see if Giovanni can throw enough strikes to be able, maybe, hadn't really, like last 21 games last year, didn't get in the 7th, hasn't gotten in the 7th. So again, you know, looks like everything is getting a little bit better, except the fact that he will not throw it over as much as they would like. Yeah. We'll see if he'll do it here at the stadium.
Ryan Flaherty will lead it off. Swarzak stays on, working his second full inning. He retired the side in order in the 7th. He's retired all 5 batters faced. Flaherty a walk, and the lone run scored in the 6th inning. Came in on the RBI double by Rickard. This one will be popped up second base. Castro. 1 away, top of the 8th inning. The Orioles have not had the leadoff man on base in this ball game. Top of the order, and Adam Jones. Adam, a base hit. He is 1 for 3 in the game at 263 for the Orioles center fielder. Rickard waiting on deck. Orioles long ball eluding them so far in this game, where the Orioles, 142 of them, leading the majors. 1-0 count on Adam. Headley recognizing that Adam has squared around a number of times this year to get on base and has actually bunted for hits. Headley at third base has stayed just a step behind the bag, but he's in compared to where you'd normally be, and that's what the scouting reports tell you in a game like this where the Orioles need base runners.
Yeah, you're down by 4. You'll get on any way you can if they give it to you.
1-1 delivery, chopped to the middle, over to get it, stop, Gregorius. Oh, mercy.
Well, I'll tell you, if you don't have the first step quickness, you know, we talk about infielders having fast feet. If you can't get to them, look how quickly he gets to it, and look at how the way he stops. And under control, perfect throw. So this is what back-to-back innings went into the hole early on. I mean, look at the range. Wow.
And he had to stab that ball. He couldn't do it cleanly like you normally would. He had to knock it down in the glove. Well, he's been impressive. A couple of fine plays in this game.
Well, I mean, everybody's been talking about, hey, you got to get younger. Well, they haven't got younger. I mean, Castro's younger. He's had a big night tonight. Same with Gregorius. You know, the problem is you get to share what, 36, coming off a 31 home run. Everybody says, well, you want him to stay healthy. Well, he hasn't. You know, same with A-Rod, 33 home runs.
Little chop. Oriole bats going quietly. 1-2-3 here in the 8th inning. Yankees have the 5-1 lead. Kershaw was placed on the DL by the Dodgers. Dodgers have won 11 of 17. Their offense has produced. Their rotation has been just good enough. They lead 7-1 in their ball game tonight. The Cubs, who were in a slump, have won 4 of their last 5 after having lost 15 out of 20. And the San Diego Padres, who would have thought, they've homered a club record 16 straight games, and since June 1 they lead the National League in runs scored.
Well, if you play at home, I mean, Larry Rothschild, the Yankees went down there, the Orioles went down there. He says the ball is flying. Now, I'm not going to run this into the ground, but the ball's more lively this year. And again, that ballpark plays like turf because it's cut. I mean, it's like you're on a putting green. Rock hard.
Yep. Michael Givens on to pitch. A-Rod stands in 0 for 3 in the ball game. 1 for 6 in the series.
A-Rod says, why me? Givens really tough on right-handers. And congratulations, he and his wife Tiffany, their daughter Michaela.
All well.
Yeah,
That's
great to hear.
1-0 delivery to him. Finished with the one hand and fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Rodriguez.
Yeah, we were both talking to Alex today. He said, listen, if I was a golfer, because a lot of the drills you do in golf where you want to keep the club head a little bit out of your hands, which is what he's trying to do. He said, my rhythm and my mechanics is so bad. He said, I'd be duck hooking every ball into the seats. So again, and of course, I think the other factor is, and he hit it on the head, when you get turned 40, you look at Nick Goody getting loose. When you get to be 40, are you done or you're having a bad year?
Well, he doesn't think he's done. I mean, and obviously he might say that, but I think he's
not saying that, but people
yeah,
that.
sure.
I mean, and that's you know, it's not the first year that's ever happened to it.
Yep.
It happened to me. It happens to everybody.
1-2 delivery on the way, and that will be called a ball. 2-2.
I'll tell you what, Todd pitched her.
True to form.
Yeah. Well, but a strike's supposed to be a strike.
That's been argued for 125 years. 2 ball, 2 strike count on A-Rod. And that'll be inside.
Yeah, because, you know, last night, I kept saying Tony Randazzo, the crew chief, a lot of the scouts saying probably missed 5 or 6 pitches on Gosman. And you think, well, okay, maybe you're not seeing well up here. You know, he was throwing 97, but
there is a human factor. You can take it out. 3-2 delivery on the way, and A-Rod will bloop that one down the line. Trumbo going over, seeing where the stands are, and can't get it. Foul ball.
Yeah, not a lot of room, and let's play the rest of the year. Leading the league in home runs. No face plants into the wall.
No.
Goes after it the right way. Ball tailing away, and got to it pretty quickly.
Always hate seeing those ankles going up against the sidewalls like that.
Yeah, it's amazing how, you know, normally in the old days you would play Alex Rodriguez over in right center, but they actually play him down the line. And Adam Jones a couple of steps into right center in center field.
Gibbons with the 3-2 delivery again, and he walked it. So the Yankees again get a leadoff man on. Aerial coverage tonight provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. On the right, where the old Yankee Stadium used to be, you see the fields that have been dedicated to the area youngsters here in the Bronx. There are 3 or 4 playing fields as a park, walk areas. They really did an exceptional job where the old Yankee Stadium was, and that was part of the deal with the city in order to get the city's support for the new ballpark. That's great. See kids out there playing every day. Here's Gregorius, goes after the first pitch. Rickard. He's got it. 1 down here in the 8th inning. So A-Rod coming out of the ball game. Torres, Ronald Torres, infielder, on at first base running for him. Hey, Girardi's got to be really smiling inside right now. I mean, if he gets through this ball game, he's been able to get A-Rod out and rest him, Reltron out resting him at the end of the game. May not have to use any of the big 3 out of the bullpen for the second game of a 4-game set. I mean, that is for the Yankees a monumental achievement if they do it.
I said, Joe, I said, you haven't been smiling a whole lot. He says, I can't smile during the game. But don't think when Swarzak came in and got out of that bases loaded situation that inside the inner smile came out.
Well, that was the ball game.
Yeah, it really
the Orioles had a great chance.
Well, the other thing is he normally doesn't bring in Betances and Miller and whatever when the game's tied, unless it's in the 9th inning. So you do get to save it. And again, you're thinking, hey, we want to get back in the race. We want to sweep the Orioles, and the only way you do that is by winning tonight.
Runner goes. Cued foul.
But I think we're seeing the Yankees. I mean, they're obviously when you're only scoring 1 run in both games to this point as the Orioles, it's tough to win. But it just looks to me that, I don't know, maybe it's the win from Sunday night against the Red Sox after they lose the first 2. They got a pretty tough approach if you're pitching against them because they're putting the ball in contact. They haven't hit a lot of home runs, but Castro hit the big home run tonight to give them a 2-run lead. they just seem energized for whatever the reason may be.
0-2, runner not going. Castro will take it. It gets away. Runner stays. Castro, big 4 RBI game. The home run second inning is 11th, good for 2. Then the double in the 6th inning, 2 more RBIs. Starlin Castro had not had an RBI against the Orioles this year.
Yeah, did not look good in last time in Baltimore. Ball players say, hey, we don't read the press, but they might have paid attention to the obituaries and decided maybe that's premature.
Givens a throw over. Diving back in. Torres gets in with the hand on the bag. One and 2. We're in the 8th inning. 5-1 lead. Yankees out hitting the Orioles 6-4. Castro trying to add to his night. Chopper to third. Played on the big hot. Manny Machado 1. Got a hustle scope. Not in time.
Now you can see Starlin Castro. I mean, it's a high chopper, but he can do a lot of things. You know, again, came up so early with the Cubs, and then all of a sudden you make the trade for Addison Russell. Moved to second base last year on their way to the postseason. So the Yankees very fortunate to get him. And again, relatively young with a pretty good pedigree.
So Chase Headley now with 2 down. Infield backs up. And Givens' delivery will be taken outside at 95. Espanier worked an inning and 2/3, 2 runs on 2 hits. Hart worked an inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, intentional. Vance Worley, the starter, the pitcher of record for the Orioles, 3 runs, 3 hits, 4 1/3.
Yeah, nice little breaking ball as Michael Givens gets through this year. The one number, and pretty much the only thing he really has to improve on is just his numbers against left-handed hitters. The quality breaking balls, that'll bring that number down. You want it to be.
1-1 delivery, swung through it, 1 and 2.
There's another one.
Headley has faced him only once and is 0 for 1 against Givens. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. Castro at first base. Givens' delivery will miss down low. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Yankees got the lead, second, and have not trailed in the ball game. Givens with the shift on in the infield delivers 2-2, foul the other way. Yankees tonight 31,192 the announced attendance, 31,192, almost exactly the same as last night. We will be back with you for game 3 tomorrow night. 6:30 O's extra, 7 o'clock for the ball game. Gallardo against Pineda. Fouled into the screen that time. The Orioles right now 10 runs over the last 5 games, including this one. Orioles still have the top half of the 9th inning to go with, trying to hold the Yankees right here. Givens, the 2-2. Two delivery by Givens, and that one walloped in the air to right. Trumbo going back at the wall. Goodbye, home run. On the 8th pitch of the at bat, Chase Headley drives it. A 2 RBI homer. A little insurance on the scoreboard, 7-1.
Again, all the way to the 15th of May to get a first extra base hit. So Castro, he hits the home run early, 2-run shot on a 3-1 pitch. And Headley fouls off enough pitches to get a slider in the middle of the plate and then belts it. Again, by fouling the balls off, you can see the target comes over, speeds the bat up, and pretty hittable. You can can see Michael Gibbons hope it stays in the park, but that's where the ball carries, right over the scoreboard.
9th home run and 30 RBIs on the year for Headley. And the Yankees 7-1. Chopped down to third base. Machado had to go deep on Refsnyder, who can run. Nice pick by Flaherty at first to record the out. And again, it was a walk that started this inning. So the Yankees get 2 runs. They do it on just 1 hit. We go to the 9th. Baseball on Masson, brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by visitannapolis.org. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, Yankee Stadium, play area to the right. Yankees 7-1, out hitting the Orioles 7-4. Rickert, the 2-for-4, double single RBI. Headley, the 2-run home run. Orioles continue to struggle when they get a chance to score on the road trip. 2 for 24.
So Nick Goody out of LSU, 6th-round draft choice back in 2012. Tommy John in 2013, and has worked his way back to the big leagues, up and down about 5 times last year out of the bullpen. And you can see similar numbers to Michael Gibbons against lefties. A little bit under 400.
And the pitch from Goody will be taken up high. Manny Machado, a walk, and an 0 for 2 in the ball game. Goody's pitch to him, a fastball that's going to be in there for a strike.
Yeah, not overpowering. Fastball, slider. That's pretty much 91, 92. If the gun's a little bit fast, it might go up a tick. Slider in the low 80s.
One delivery on the way, and a good breaking ball that went down at 83, 1-2.
Well, that's the slide ball, and boy, righty to righty, lefty to lefty. It is a tough pitch when well executed. Get on top of it. The illusion it is, because you don't see the tight spin on the good ones, and it just slides away from where you're trying to hit. There's another one.
And swung on a miss. Tag put on just in case. Goody gets the K.
Well, again, back-to-back sliders. And, great to double up if the second one's as good as the first one, and it is.
Swarzak 2 2/3 innings of relief work, and he had 2 strikeouts, the rest zeros. Great job out of the bullpen. Evaldi in line to be the winner. He'll be 8-6. Vance Worley will take the loss. He will be 2-1. Visit MassonSports.com/CareFirst. Vote for tonight's Care First Fearless Player of the Game. Live fearless with a name trusted for over 75 years. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield. Not much offense for the Orioles tonight. Rickard providing most of it. A couple of hits, 2 for 4 in the RBI, the only one. A 1 delivery by Goody will be in the dirt. On our Coons.com league leaderboard, brought to you by Coons.com. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting.
Yeah, Red Sox win tonight over the Giants. Of course. And there you go. 2 runs last 2 games.
Shutting out the Giants 4-0. Red Sox will be a half game behind the Orioles. Pitch to Trumbo, misses. Trumbo 0 for 3. Couple of fly balls and a pop out. A big one with the bases loaded, 6th inning. As far as it came on, it got Trumbo to pop out, and the same for Jonathan Scope with the bases loaded. Two-1 delivery on the way. Back and out of play. Have a chance tonight. Take a look at the full moon. The harvest moon is out tonight all along the East Coast. Some pretty clear skies to take a look at it. It's also called the sturgeon moon, named after the fish species the sturgeon, who are abundant in the Great Lakes and usually more active. How beautiful is that? Also a harvest moon, a buck moon, a number of names this kind of season, depending on where you lived and what outdoor activities, whether you were farming and harvesting or fishing, looking for caviar with the sturgeon. 2-2 delivery, and he gets it.
Yeah, I think Mark Trumbo is sitting on deck after Machado goes down on sliders, going, well, in the back of his mind he might throw it, and then 91 gets up there a lot quicker. He just rides it through the strike zone.
So 2 down, nobody on. Orioles down to their final out. Jonathan Scope 0 for 3 in the ball game. For the Orioles, it'll be their 3rd loss in a row. For the Yankees, their 3rd consecutive win. Series on the season will be tied up at 4-4 with a Yankee victory. Goody's delivery off speed, up for a ball. Back at my home in Maine, we have sturgeon, both bottlenose and longnose, that live in the bay I'm on, and they've been very active over the last 2 weeks. Now I know why. The sturgeon moon. And when sturgeon are active, you hear them. 1-0 pitch on the way, and that one is foul tipped into the mitt.
You hear them?
They come out of the water and sound like whales.
Really?
Yeah, they completely clear the water. They can be 5, 6, 7 feet long. They're prehistoric looking. They have big, huge dinosaur type heads. And when they land, you'd swear whales were jumping. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And over the backstop, 1 and 2.
Yeah, it looks like Nick Goody, and I know it's 7-1, and maybe the focused attention spans waiting a little bit, but 91 must be getting on the hitters a little bit quicker than they think.
Scope trying to keep it alive for the Orioles here in the 9th inning. And he won't. So the Yankees have won the first 2 of this 4-game set, as Goody comes on and strikes out the side in the 9th inning. Eovaldi wins it. He is 8-6. Vince Wardley, the loser, he is 2-1. The Yankees get the home runs, 2 of them, not the Orioles, and they get a 7-1 win.